do. Do 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 do. Didn't I just have the control? Supposed to be like 30 seconds. Commercial for the next hour. La 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 la. La 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 la.
They always rockin' Revive.
All stations, we are green to go. Stand by for deployment.
Landing. Where we landing?
Marking contract. Cancel that. Marking contract.
Your team leader. Set a drop point for your squad.
What's that?
soldier.
Wanna go to my mark?
Gas is closing on your position. Suggest you hightail it out of there.
Hey, Captain, you got a mic, my boy.
You can't hear me?
I assume you do.
It's not working. I gotta change the setting.
Hey, Quan, wait a minute.
Moving here.
You're clear to engage all hostiles.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Captain. You pick it up, Captain, you go pick it up, baby. I ain't getting that, Scabby. Get that, that recon.
Push to talk.
Get over here. Let's dance. Let's dance. Who's saying that?
You guys can't hear me at all? This isn't working? You guys can't hear me?
Get that rig.
Can you hear me at all? My mic's showing up on here.
Right here. Don't get that scabby.
Freak Me Friday. What's up, Misfit? Oh, you just went live. That's just notification. Oh, you're in your chat. Can you
Your
guys
squad
can you
mate secured intel
can
on
you
an
not
enemy
hear me at
airstrip.
all? Can you guys not hear me?
Decrypt it at the uplink station marked on your tac map while there's still time.
Self-revive right here.
All squad mates are in the safe zone.
That's why.
Gas
Hey,
is
bro,
moving.
moving basketball is so.
Can you guys hear me now?
Hostiles have established a SAM turret.
I should be able to hear you guys now. Yeah, hear me.
They've got a SAM turret online.
Sorry, fellas. I'm back in. What mark? What mark?
Took a round!
Your squad mates in the gulag.
Damn it.
If they survive, they redeploy. Squad mates entered the gulag. They'll need to survive to redeploy. Time to fight your way out of here.
I didn't get any kills. What?
Your squad mate lost the fight. They're RTB at this time.
What?
Your squad mate failed their mission. They're headed back to base.
Come on, dude.
War is for the warriors.
What?
Your RTB.
I fucking
Enemy
hate him.
turret active.
I even hit him in that fucking head. You guys hear me? Can you hear me now? Oh shit was all fucked up.
The enemy took that one, but we'll get them back.
That was my first game out. Give me another run. They hate. They hate it. Because my freaking voice chat was set so you guys so they would. I don't know. Audio in this game is all fucked. But that was the first game on. Still waiting for John to get on here. Could see my mic moving, but they couldn't hear me. Weird. Johnny boy. Johnny boy. Doo 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 doo. Do 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 do.
real thing coming soon.
Didn't my teammates hear me?
Enemy soldier incoming.
Rambo, can you hear me? And Mike?
All stations, this is Shadow 01. Deployment to the war zone has been authorized. Enemy dropping into the AO.
Let's get it.
Mark a drop point for your squad and hit the silk.
What's that? I can't hear you.
Gas is approaching.
Where do you guys wanna go?
Move to the safe zone.
Mark where you want to go. Mark it.
Be advised, gas drop is inbound.
Let's hit this LZ first.
Moving here. Targets are up. Go take them down. Orders are to hack contracts and secure cash payments.
Yo, what's up, Kleiner?
Precision airstrike available.
I'll try to get them. Were they inside?
Some of your squad is outside the safe zone. Your squad mates in the gulag. They'll fight for a chance to redeploy.
Someone just parachuted in. Parachuted.
Enemy counter UAV inbound.
Some movement here.
I see him. I see him. I see him. I see him.
Contract lines limited. Activate hack.
Fuck off, bitch.
The squad mate has entered the gulag. They'll need to survive to redeploy. Your squad mate's in the gulag. They'll fight for a chance to redeploy.
He's up on the roof. He's up on the roof. Up on the roof. I'm better, bitch. God damn it, where are you?
Mate 1 to 5. They're redeploying now. You're being tracked by an enemy squad. Evade and survive. Your squad mate is belly up. They're returning to base.
You guys land on that guy? I didn't know they got knocked. I'm on my way back right now. Let's go.
Time's up on the hack contract. It's a goner.
Oh, they're all right there.
Marking enemy.
Hostiles have established a SAM turret.
We're not playing with anybody good, Parker. You playing PC soon? Let's go. If you play PUBG, I'll play PUBG with you. I just don't have anybody to play PUBG with.
Scratch that.
And I'm stuck playing with randoms right now on COD. Like, I played with randoms with no comms. No comms, really. The other night, I had 15 kills and 3 dubs in a row, brother.
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
Moving here. Loadout marked.
Moving to my mark.
Moving.
You've got gas inbound. Safe zone
What
relocated.
up, Chode? What up, Chelsea Chode?
Moving here. Clicking here.
Donna, 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 Donna. I've been good, Parker, though. I've been good. Working, spending time with me. I mean, the other day was the first time I streamed in like 6, 7, 8 months. And we're not gonna be playing games. We're gonna be watching YouTube clip of Tucker Carlson and El Salvador's grooviest dictator. Dissect the interview. If you want to stick around a little bit. Be a very informative discussion. But we're just getting our ass kicked on this. I would play pub, but it's no fun playing pub by yourself.
Gas is inbound.
Have you seen Mini Royale? Yo, what's up, Landon Lowry?
The enemy is no
Landon
longer tracking
Lowry?
you. You lost them.
Enemy in the area.
Which one is it? Which one is it? I gotta find it.
Hanging out with us now, buddy. Dignitary's got nothing to do with it. But I'll take that lift.
Yeah, climb aboard. Moving here.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, mush.
We gotta play it one more time because you got the lake sound in there. For Lance, for Cody, for Parker, the Kleiner Menace. Private Hines is playing on PC, and that motherfucker didn't even freaking let me know if you got a PC. Man, Private Hines. We go way back, Friday Night Custom.
Target down.
Hopefully Cody's doing good. That, see, in Call of Duty, the key is to go and call your teammates back. Right? Are you back? You got your food?
Oh, I got my food, I got my oats, I got my raw milk. And what else do I have, dude?
I can't understand those motherfuckers. We're playing, no, they're American, but they're, the sound, dude, is just so horrible. And like, I knocked 3 fucking people. 2 people. I knocked and killed somebody. So I had a kill for me. And, knocked another guy, right? And then my teammates are nowhere to be fucking found, and I go and I almost knocked the other guy that was picking up the res. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did a little okey doke, healed up, went up to the roof, hopped down, and almost fucking shot the dude. But I mean, that was only my second game out of the day, and I'm playing. If it was controller, he was dead. How long are you going to be on for? I mean, I'm going to be on for a minute, Cody. We are about to watch an hour-long video of Tucker Carlson and El Salvador's grooviest dictator. So, like, just dissect it. However long that takes. I may get back on Call of Duty. I don't know if John has He has PUBG. I know he has PUBG downloaded. He got PUBG, and we can switch over to PUBG. I'm already over Call of Duty. Fuck this shit. Unless I got a squad of people that I can communicate with. Fuck this shit. I'm out. I mean, I'll play it again if you go out and play COD. This is the game that you gotta get the Parker. You mouse and keyboard now, dog? Let's go, baby. Hey, I'm mouse and key. Look, oh, you can't see it on the camera, but mouse and key. Well, mouse and Azeron keyboard. I got the Azeron keyboard, so it's moving. About to show him Mini Royale. Have you seen this? Remember the Army Men? Remember the Army Men, brother? The fucking Army Men. They made it into a battle royale now, and it's the FPP and bolt. It's like super precision with bolty shots. Your little Army Men, dude. Like Fortnite, but Army Man style and way better. Playing your clip right now. You gotta get on. You got Discord? Send me, DM me your Discord so I can send you an invite to the army of gamers, bro. We're taking the world by storm, brother. I'm watching. Third trailer of this. Yeah. So you can like climb up. Well, they updated it. You should, if you still have it, they do the playtest. You should come play with me and my buddy John. So much fun. It's so much fun, dude. Like, movement on mouse and keyboard is so different, too, than on controller. So I try to tell him floss. Really want to play Enshrouded, but I need people to play. No one survived is like 7 Days to Die, but like in Engine, and it's like less than maybe $10 for the game. Really fun. Still have Phasmophobia. I got Rust. You should come play some Rust with me. Try to get John to get Rust. I'm a farmer though. Like growing shit.
Okie doke. Okay, you ready to start it? Because I'm about to get my hands a little greasy and then I don't want to touch my mouse. A little bit greasy. Or greasy. I actually still have chicken thighs that are slow cooking even further.
Oh, you got chicken thighs cooking?
Slow cooking and some butter and seasonings. And with steak.
Alright, just play the beginning. You guys in the chat gotta tell me if you can hear the sound or if you can't hear the sound. Play it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Tucker.
At Sure Camp David. Inaugurated.
Or you should just play something real quick, like other than this. Different video, maybe.
Days ago.
See if we can get the volume right. Play this. You know what I'm saying?
That, sure. Here, I'll just go like,
I don't know if they can
Random.
hear it or if I need to turn it up or you know what I'm saying.
Can they hear this?
Gotta watch.
Can they hear that?
Play it again.
I utilize this technique called setup
Here, I'll just play a short.
So the way it works is,
Let's
you
keep
know, when
playing
you're a
over.
beginner, if you get thrown a random word, you'll just sort of say
Let me
the
know
word,
once you
and
know
then
they
you
can.
just
Okay,
kinda hope
I
and pray
got
that
my
you
shit.
find something that rhymes with it, so it very easily can spin out of control. Give me a random word.
People.
People. Beautiful. So back in the day when I first started, I would be like, yo, people. And I'm not really see-through. I don't know, right? So you're just trying to find something that rhymes with it, and oftentimes, you know, it would go off the rails. But with this setup punchline technique, I'm flipping that process. So if you say people, before I get to people, I'm going to set it up with something that rhymes with people. So that would sound something like, rappers are transparent. They all
Yeah, no sound. So let me figure this out.
spread joy to the people. Thank you.
It's a sag. I probably got to change something in
Yeah, totally.
Discord. Remember how I told you the reboot was gonna fuck up my settings?
Called setup punchline.
Wait, can you hear it?
I can hear it. Yeah.
Oh, it's just not them.
Let me play it again right now.
Works is, you know, when you're a beginner, if you get thrown a random.
All right, go ahead and
say the word,
pause it for a second.
and you just kind of have to hope and pray.
Yeah, I gotta turn it up. We're good. Hold on. So where was I? That one, and then. All right, go ahead and play it. Yeah, no sounds.
Pray that you can find something that rhymes with it, so it very easily can spin out of control. Give me a random word.
People.
People. Beautiful. So back in the day when I first started, I would be like, yo, people. And I'm not really see-through. I don't know, right? So you're just trying to find something that rhymes with it, and oftentimes, you know, it would go off the rails. But with this setup punchline technique, I'm flipping that process. So if you say people,
go ahead
before I
and,
get to people, I'm going to set it up with something that rhymes with people. So that would sound something like, rappers are transparent. They all look see-through. Meanwhile, I'm rhyming to spread joy to the people. Thank you.
That was amazing. So your
You can
mind
pause it
works
real
that
quick.
quick.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Oh.
That's better. Play it again.
Only because I practiced for so long. I utilize this technique called setup punchline. So the way it works is, you know, when you're a beginner, if you get thrown a random word, you'll just sort of say the word, and then you just kind of have to hope and pray that you can find something that rhymes with it, so it very easily can spin out of control. Give me a random word.
People.
People. Beautiful. So back in the day when I first started, I would be like, yo, people. And I'm not really see-through. I don't know, right? So you're just trying to find something that rhymes with it, and oftentimes, you know, it would go off the rails. But with this setup punchline technique, I'm flipping that process. So if you say people, before I get to people, I'm going to set it up with something that rhymes
pause it.
with people. So that would sound.
Yo, recliner. Buddy,
Because I practiced for.
yeah,
I
that's
utilize
better.
this setup. The way it works is, say the word. Kind of have to hope. Rhymes with it very easily out of control. Give me a random.
You want to take the stream delay off though?
I don't know how to do that for Facebook.
Me neither. But
Definitely gotta
There's a
move
way.
this off. I definitely gotta move this off my stream. If I pop something up on my stream that
Huh.
All right, let me know. Let me know how my volume is, Landon, if you can. Like, go ahead and play the clip, If you can't hear me, if you can't hear me, let me know.
Entire situation off. Okay? I'm standing next to this guy. He turns towards me and he sneezes like this. He goes, I looked at him and I went,
They cook, man.
God bless you.
God bless you, sir. God
Guy
bless
looks
you,
at me
sir.
and very condescending, he goes, yeah, I'm an atheist. I'm trying to be polite. I don't know you're an atheist, right? And even if I did, what am I supposed to say when an atheist sneezes? When you die, nothing happens. Well, what about you? What did you grow up? I said, well, I was raised Catholic. What do you believe happens to you after you die? And I said, okay, well, hopefully I live a good life and my soul goes to heaven. He's giggling. He's like, you believe this? This is what... So he's laughing at my beliefs, and finally I just snap back, what about you? Okay, what about you, all right? What happens to you after you die? Now he gets very serious, like he's gonna school me, okay? I know what's going to happen to me after I die. After I pass on, my body will become one with this earth. And with that, I will return as a huge, beautiful tree. I hope when he dies, he does become a tree. And wouldn't it be fantastic if while he was out there just enjoying his treeness, through the woods, a huge sweaty guy with an axe comes along, sees him, chops him down, smash, put a chain around him, drag him through the mud and the muck, throw him into a sawmill, grind him up. Then you pound him down into paper. Once he's paper, you print the Bible on him.
So long.
That's hilarious.
This guy used to play insane venues with thousands of people in it, which like 3 comedians ever have done. And then after the 2000s, Dane Cook fell out of favor, and people would make fun of Dane Cook.
Can they hear, by the way?
And he kind of disappeared from popularity. I am calling for a Danaissance. All winners so far.
What's that?
And Dane Cook should be. He's a doof.
Can they
What's the deal today?
Can they hear?
Yes, they can hear.
Oh, so I can start it? Question mark?
Landon, are you still you still there, Landon? I mean, I turn it off on my end so I can actually hear it.
No, let me know when to put.
Go ahead and play it real quick.
Mr. President, thank you for.
Can you hear that?
Hold on. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. For some reason I'm super low on the. Go. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. La 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 la. Guess I can better. Alright, go ahead and play it real quick.
For having us.
Thank you, Tucker.
At your
Thank
Camp David, which is beautiful. So you were inaugurated 2 days ago.
I pause it.
They can hear it.
I'm watching this shit. I don't know if it's good or not.
What are you talking about?
My stream, like I'm watching it on Twitch, right? Sounds different. Like, because I'm hearing the playback in my headset, like watching. So there's a delay on the Facebook. But I know what it is. So on my sound mixer, I have like Stuff Edge, like Super Sound Mixer. I have Edge, like Super Sound Mixer. So Stuff Edge, like Super Sound Mixer. So. Check 1 2, mic check 1 2. Check 1 2, mic check 1 2. Fuck. One, two, baby outside, baby outside, baby outside. Baby outside, baby outside, baby outside.
Buckle my shoe, buckle my shoe, buckle my shoe.
Second. Go ahead.
Mr. President, thank you for having us.
Thank you, Tucker.
At your Camp David, which is beautiful. So you were inaugurated 2 days ago. This is a small country, and yet your inauguration was international news, was everywhere. Why? Why do you think that is?
Well, it was a shock for us too. I mean, we knew that a lot of people were coming, and I mean that will draw some attention. Of course, we had big delegations from 110 countries. So of course that will draw news because if a chancellor comes from a country, then he brings his media team and that will create some news over there. And if a president comes or a king comes, that will create some news. Even you came, so that creates some news. But
why were they coming?
Pause.
Well,
Pause.
For different reasons.
Why were they coming?
Why?
And, Tucker, I don't really want to get into Tucker, but more so on the data that this guy gives, because Tucker's just kind of like the medium here. But yeah, dude, this guy right here, everything that he says is kind of gonna be unorthodox in a sense, because he understands to an extent how the world works, and there's certain things he can and cannot say here, obviously.
Who's that, Tucker?
No, this man right here, the most famous dictator, whatever you want to call him.
I said the most grooviest dictator.
Yeah. He
So
self-identified.
he can't. Yeah, so he can't say too much or take it out.
Well, he already has a target on his back, so we'll see what happens. The moment you, within a matter of an instant, with no money really at all and no resources, all by yourself with no other country's help, it's like the movie 300 where everything's against you, and you just take the country by storm, switch it so fucking fast where it goes from the worst to the best place ever, and you do it that fast, the whole world says, wait a second. If it is that simple for one man that knows shit all about shit all to do this, then what does that say about our governments that have been doing the same thing for centuries, that have all the money in the world to do for all?
Oh yeah, it would wake up. It would wake up a lot of people.
Suddenly, yeah, people start asking questions like, wait.
Or yeah, start asking questions like this. Everybody started asking questions.
It's and it was happening already, right? So there's a lot of
I could ask you, why did you come? Right?
Daughter always asks questions. Why, Daddy? Why?
Something remarkable is happening here.
Question there. Oh the god. Mute it.
You're not. That's why. But
Skip
I'm
it.
interested in why you think people came.
Yeah, different reasons. There are definitely different reasons. For example,
What was the question?
The U.S. Government sent
What was the question?
big. Of course,
Can you make the whatchamacallit captions English? Because if they're there, they're distracting me, and I'm.
You want them? Well, I guess that's the only thing I can really do with it, right?
That's fine.
Is happening here. That's why. But I'm interested in why you think people came.
Well, let's see. I have to take one.
Yeah, different reasons. There are definitely different reasons. For example, the U.S. Government sent a big delegation, but then we had also a delegation from Congress.
Yes.
That it started as a Republican delegation, but then the Democrats jumped in the wagon, and we had a bipartisan delegation from Congress. So, it's like, so it adds up. I don't know at the end what happened, but I think that it's like how a star, how stars are born. They say that debris starts joining up, and if they become an asteroid. But if more debris joins up, it becomes a planet because the gravitational pull. The more debris comes up, it becomes a star because then the gravitational pull is too big. So that's called critical mass. So I don't know. Sometimes just because God wants it like that, or just a stroke of luck or whatever, you get some critical mass in something you're doing, and then it becomes bigger than
Dude, that's so deep. That's so fucking deep.
Probably got some critical mass that we didn't foresee.
Bro, you can pause it. You can literally do that in every facet of your life. Like, surround yourself with people that you want a goal to go and accomplish. Surround yourself. That is gonna help you get there.
Once the momentum switches to critical mass, where this is now larger than that, then
watch out. There's no longer a theory or a thought or goal.
What are we talking about? Are you talking to your stream?
Anything. No, extreme could be a perfect extreme. I'm saying extreme could be a perfect example, but like in reference to what he's talking about his country, right? When they came together, the more and more that they come together, and the other things that come together around them form that planet, like he was saying, or like that unity becomes a movement that cannot be stopped.
Yes, understanding momentum and how that turns to critical mass. And once the majority switches, right? Once the minority becomes the majority, right? And vice versa, critical mass, right? That momentum starts to, or the compound effect starts to accentuate on a level that you can't comprehend. It's no longer like 10, 20, 100. It's like 1,000, 1,000,000, 1 trillion. And then it's like it can't be stopped, right? That's like the physics or the logic behind it. But
hemisphere, El Salvador seemed in the toughest shape or close to the bottom in the rankings for everything.
Yes.
Literally everything. They were the worst.
Resources, etc.
And since the country was born.
Is that true?
Yes. I mean, the country has been poor since it was born. Yeah.
Whatever their ideals were, but they were working with the same people as, everybody else. They were helping rig sports back in the 70s, and this is all coming out now in public data, which is hilarious. That's why nobody's talking about it, because some people need to see like public documents for them to be like, oh my gosh, this happened, right? Because they can't put two and two together. And now it's public documents and nobody's talking about it. But anyways, yeah.
You cannot do anything if you don't have peace.
If every time you see an ad, you just wanna,
yeah, exactly.
It's a free Chrome extension.
Right.
And why is it popping up as an ad?
Include war, civil wars, invasion, crime. I mean, you need to have peace. You need to be able to move freely, to have your basic
human rights
respected. Starting with the right to live, the right to move, the right to have property. So you need your basic rights to be respected. So you need peace. That's the first thing a society will struggle to achieve. And once you achieve peace, then you can struggle for all the other things, like infrastructure.
Listen to what he's saying. If you would just to focus your energy.
Well, we got a minute. We got a 2-minute ad right now, so people. The last 2 minutes.
Oh, it's so gay. I hate Twitch ads.
Yeah, I tried to turn them off, but I thought about turning them off.
For certain things, you gotta have them off.
Added revenue.
Ad revenue.
But no, I bit facts.
So he's talking about the foundation. If people are just and by the way, this is coming from
he's a dictator. He's not a president.
call him a president, I guess.
How is he a what makes him a dictator?
He's both president and a dictator.
So,
President.
well, no, he.
can be
So what do we say earlier? A dictator isn't really a bad dictating positive thing.
Yes,
Positivity.
yes, they could dictate positivity or negativity, technically speaking.
Well,
yeah.
him dumping all their people.
That's what a king is, by the way. A king back in the day.
Yes, that was.
Everything had to be
okay.
going through him. He was the So in a sense, old kings, ancient kings were dictators. But how did the king get to be king? Guess how a king got to be king? Not through fucking slaying everybody and like what Pharaoh did, right? Not by doing what Pharaoh did.
They vote.
Okay, so
Who voted?
yes, people literally. There was for example, this is some Old Testament stuff, but there was two nations. I think one was, I can't remember the two nations, and the one nation started rising up like crazy and becoming really, really powerful, and they had a king. And then these people, the other nation, they were going to be way more powerful than that other nation, right? There was a foundation that they needed to build within themselves, so they wouldn't get spoiled and in the long run just completely defile themselves. And so there was a reason they didn't have a king, right? It was going to completely destroy the harmony of the people, and the people couldn't see this. The people saw what the other nation had and be like, yeah, but look at all the stuff that they have, right? Look at all the things and the material possessions they have. Like, we want to be like them. And it was all in due timing, right? Because the foundation needed to be laid amongst the people first. They were to live completely different than the other nation, and over time they would have way more. Essentially, it's kind of like building a pipeline over getting all the things you want right away. And anyways, eventually they got a king because they kept asking for a king, and they chose a king, right? Whoever the people think is the best, essentially would. And there's many different ways that this happened, but essentially the people would choose the king, right? We don't choose the king. We don't choose who runs us, right? No matter what happens, and then even if there is a choice for me, right, it's going to be between that guy, and that guy. And oh, how did they get nominated? How did they get known? Oh, again, because there's people propping them up. So okay, so this is all an illusion of illusion of democracy then, right? So we're like the opposite of the way a king used to be, because kings were dictators in the sense that the people chose the dictator and they would dictate what would happen. And here it's a similar concept, except he had to take over with a very small amount of people. And he came from nothing, not knowing how to run anything, right? And now he's saying, dude, if the government's just focused on peace at the foundation, he knows who runs this world. He knows the darkness, that controls the power structures. So, but he says if they focus on the foundation of peace and you focused on these foundational principles, then everything else would come together, right? How is it that you have that big skyscraper over there and this fountain over here and this and this and this and this, and there's no peace amongst anybody? How is it that you have this, but not even this basic principle? How did you get that far without even covering this basic principle? And again, it's by design, but people don't know what society needs. They don't understand, right? We're born into this world and we think, ooh, we got it the best, right? We don't see the slavery that's right in front of us. We don't see how people in the Roman times, they could go and choose their occupation, fast for 2-3 weeks, come back, right? They were considered slaves, right? But they could still choose. And so now we're not considered slaves, yet we have less time freedom, right? We can't go and just leave work for 2 weeks and still be fine. There's no sowing and reaping. We trade our time for money. So everything is backwards. We're slaves on a whole nother level, but again, you're born in a prison and you're happy when you get 3 meals a day type of shit. Like, it's yeah, anyways, so he is kind of talking about the foundational principles, focusing on peace, and how do you bring peace, and how do you
infrastructure, wealth, well-being, quality of life. But you have to start with peace. So we had to start with peace. And in the case of El Salvador, we were literally the murder capital of the world.
Yes.
And we turned it into the safest country.
She's got an amazing tattoo.
Okay, why are the ads back to back?
Jiggle physics.
You know what's funny? I actually have this video downloaded, I believe, ironically enough, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I have it downloaded, dude. Is it under educational or pod? Right here, president. Yes, I have it. No more ads. This is a little bit blurrier, but whatever. And then we go to
close to the bottom in the rankings
Definitely.
for everything.
Yes, yes.
Lacking abundant
And-
natural resources,
and since,
etc.
and since the country was born.
Is that true?
Yes, I mean the country has been poor since it was born. Yeah, lacking everything basically.
Lacking everything with,
Yes.
with a dense population, a lot of people
Yes.
packed in.
Yeah.
So how did you change it? I guess so I'll cut right to it. If you can fix El Salvador, what are the lessons for the rest of us? What did you do first?
Well, of course, you cannot do anything if you don't have peace, right? And when I say peace, I include wars, civil wars, invasion, crime. I mean, you need to have peace. You need to be able to move freely, to have your basic rights respected, starting with the right to live, the right to move, the right to have property. So you need your basic rights to be respected. So you need peace. That's the first thing a society will struggle to achieve. And once you achieve peace, then you can struggle for all the other things, like infrastructure, wealth,
Yes.
well-being, quality of life. But you have to start with peace. So we had to start with peace. And in the case of El Salvador, we're literally the murder capital of the world.
Yes.
And we turned it into the safest country in the Western Hemisphere. We're safer than any other country in the Western Hemisphere, which is, it was, if I would have said that 5 years ago, they would say that I was crazy, right?
Yes.
Because this was literally the most dangerous country in the whole world.
Your capital is now safer than our capital in
Yes,
Washington.
yes, yes.
A lot safer.
And the country is safer than the United States as a whole.
Yes.
Some would say because you dumped a bunch of your people into our
murder rate
30.
too. So we're safer than Canada, safer than Chile.
You
safer than
motherfucker.
Safer than the U.S., safer than any country in the Western Hemisphere. There are countries in the other hemisphere that are safer than El Salvador, but not.
Yo, can you hear
not
me?
in the Western
I had muted.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So you did that in just a couple years.
Yes, we did that basically in 3 years.
So what? Just bottom line it for us. What's the formula?
Well, I can tell you the official formula and the real formula.
Okay.
So the official formula is that we did a plan. I mean, we did a plan. It's not that. When I say official, I mean it's a lie. It's just the official one. We did a plan that was comprised of phases. So we roll up the first phase, then the next.
Pause it real
the
quick.
next one, and then gangs started attacking back. So we need to.
Oh, I forgot I can't use my space bar.
So
Okay, what's that?
in 2022, an estimated of 700,000 Salvadorians.
Sounds right, probably. I met some in Belize too when I lived there. They told me lots of things.
So they said a lot. The reason why their country got a lot safer.
There's way more. Okay, just listen.
We had to roll up everything at once, like in a hurry. So and it worked. It worked. In a couple of weeks, the country was transformed because the gangs were not yet arrested, but they were on the run. So we basically in the roll up of phase 6, we basically pacified the country in a couple of weeks.
How do you do that? How do you pacify a country?
Well, the phases included building up of the police forces, the army. We doubled the army. We literally doubled the army to.
Guess
fight
what?
crime.
I got hit with a
We
copyright
used the army to fight
for the
crime.
video.
And we equipped them.
Really?
It stopped
before,
my
soldiers didn't
Facebook.
have, like
That doesn't even make sense.
useful guns or vehicles, drones. Basic things that an operation of that magnitude would need. So yeah, we roll up the phases and then we went after them.
Okay, so that's the official. That's the official.
Yes, that's the official.
What's the real?
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
I love that. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's a miracle. When gangs started attacking us back, basically. They killed 87 people in 3 days, which for a country of 6 million people, it's crazy. Would be the equivalent 60 times would be the equivalent of having 5,000 deaths in 5,000 murders in the U.S. in 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were in a meeting, and well, when it started, not when it ended, but when it started, we were in a meeting at my office, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., just watching, what was happening and trying to figure out what to do, because the problem with the gangs is that they don't only attack their objectives. When they want to create terror, they can attack anyone. So they can actually kill their grandma.
Yes.
And it's your victim.
Yes.
Because they don't care about their grandma. You care about their grandma, so it's your victim. If they kill their grandma, you have one death, and they have, they achieved the terror that they want to create. So they can kill anybody. A woman walking by, a guy working in the street, a taxi driver. They can kill anybody. And if the state goes after them, the state has no intention of killing or harming anybody, but the gang members. So you have 70,000 objectives, which were the 70,000 gang members, but they have 6 million possible targets. So it was almost an impossible task.
It's a guerrilla war, really.
Yes, it was an impossible task, because you have to go after them. They were intertwined with the population. They were everywhere, and they were killing randomly. So how do you stop them? So we really tried to figure out what to do, and I basically said, well, we're looking into an impossible mission here. So we pray, and we.
You prayed in the meeting?
Yes, of course, several times. Yeah.
What did you pray for?
To wisdom, to win the war, to have. I thought at the time that we would have civilian casualties, so we prayed that the civilian casualties would be as low as possible, and we didn't have any civilian casualties.
That's insane.
That's
and
nuts.
was everyone in the meeting comfortable with that?
Yes.
That's insane, actually.
Pause that.
Almost
Pause that.
My thing's greasy. One sec.
We're a secular country, of course.
I think with the reacting, they pause and they talk about. That's insane to fucking think about, that they just prayed that they would get a bunch of casualties.
Well, yeah, they prayed for a lot of things. He said they.
Well, no, but they just went on faith, right? They didn't go on statistics or numbers or anything.
Well, no, that's no. Let me correct you. Faith brings the logic. Faith brings the so. The moment you
they went on common sense. They went on common sense, right?
No, it has to start with faith, and when it starts with the emotion of faith, then your awareness expands, and that's when you can receive all the information. So it starts with faith, but you're receiving information that is data and logic. You are starting to understand things and what you have to do. You're not like closing your eyes and going in there, right? You're still using your eyes. And so.
But you're also using common sense.
That's why he says when they prayed for wisdom, they deliberately prayed for wisdom on specific things as well, because they wanted to understand and use logic, right?
Yeah.
Which starts with faith in order to even get the information, but yeah. Everything starts with faith. That's the emotion that allows you to see all and feel all, and we just don't realize how little we have of it.
MS-13 is one of the major gangs.
And they are satanic also.
That was my question. So very
I'm
little.
sorry.
No, but I would hope you will explain it, because very little.
Precisely my point. Every single thing is satanic, and it just goes under different entities and arms, whether it's this cartel, that government agency, Skull and Bones, whatever. It's all the same.
About this.
They're satanic.
Darkness
but
that
actually,
controls
literally.
all.
Can you explain?
Well, they didn't start as a satanic organization. MS-13 started in Los Angeles in the U.S. because Salvadorans weren't allowed to sell drugs by the Mexican gangs. So they created a gang that was called the 18th Street Gang because they basically wanted to sell drugs in a street that was 18th Street over there.
18th Street.
But then division started to they started dividing themselves and started infighting. So they created the MS-13, and then MS-13 started outgrowing the other gangs, and they started exporting the organization to other parts of the U.S. And when Bill Clinton decided to deport those guys, he didn't tell our government at the time, I'm deporting this criminal. They just send them here. And they came, there were few, but unchecked. At the same time, some laws.
There's a lot of information he was forced to leave out there.
From imprisonment. And of course, the gangs used that to recruit 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds. So at the beginning it was, some youth causing harm, assaulting, trying to control their territory, selling drugs, things that are bad, but probably not critical. But they grew, and they started controlling territories. A few years later, they were actually a huge international criminal organization that they have bases in Italy, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, the U.S. Basically, a lot of major cities in the U.S. will have strongholds of.
Right outside Washington, D.C.
Yes, of course. And you have in Long Island and
yes.
In L.A. It's a huge criminal international organization. So they grew and they started, killing more people just to get territory or to fight against rival gangs or to, collect debts or, money or whatever. But as the organization grew, they became satanic. They started doing satanic rituals. I don't know exactly when that started, but it was well documented.
Yes.
And in our arrest, we've even found altars and things like that.
Yes, I've seen them.
And so they became a satanic organization. And even when you
crazy to fuck think.
Sometimes when you interview gang members that are in prison, they would say, "I'm out of the gang." Of course, they're in prison, but they would say, "I'm not a member of the gang anymore." And when they asked them why, I remember I remember the news outlet that made it this, but it's a very well-known news outlet that made this interview with a gang member in person. We allowed them to go into prisons and do the interviews. And the guy that they asked him, "How many people have you killed?" And he said, "I don't remember." He didn't remember how many, probably 10, 20. He didn't remember. And then they asked him, and
I think you would remember how many people.
Position in the gang. He explained how he went up in positions.
Till a certain
left
point.
The gang. I said, "Why did you left the gang?" And he said, "Well, because I was used to kill people, but I killed for territory. I killed to collect money. I killed for extortion. But I came to to this house, and they were about to kill a baby. And the killer that had killed tens of people, said, "Oh, wait, what are we doing? Why are we going to kill that baby?" And they told him, "Because the beast asked for a baby, so we have to give him a baby." So he said that he couldn't resist that, so he left the gang. He's in prison because he's a killer, but he left the gang because he couldn't tolerate what he was seeing.
It's
So
crazy.
Sacrifice was
Yes.
a part.
Well,
It's still a part of everything. There's still stuff like that happening to this day.
That they were
That's
going
the
to
people
kill a
that
young girl.
run
They killed a
everything.
young girl. I don't exactly remember because it was a satanic ritual. It happened in the U.S. a couple of weeks
People are
ago.
like, "Oh no, that doesn't
The
happen."
obvious conclusion that the real debate is not between Republican and Democrat or socialist and capitalist, right, left. The real battle is between people who are lying. That's why he created this network, the Tucker Carlson Network. Tucker Carlson.
Oh, what are you doing? Go back. Go back.
Right.
In English language.
I was liking what he was saying.
You will not regret it.
No, it's an ad.
That's almost.
Well, I know, but what he was saying in the beginning there,
English language press.
he was saying isn't Republican or Democrat or socialist or capitalist.
Well,
Being
you
good,
sort of
it's
wonder
between
why.
the good and evil.
If there's a spiritual component that's driving it, why not just say so?
Yes.
But I guess my point is, you saw it as that.
Yes, yes, of course. There's a spiritual war and there's a physical war. And the physical war could be that's the unofficial.
Yes.
That's the unofficial version. The spiritual if you win the spiritual war, it will reflect into the physical.
Yes, you get it. You
So
get it.
That's crazy.
He gets it. He doesn't just say the
I
word.
don't know what how to call it. Our impressive
See, we need somebody like this
victory
running the country.
was because we won the
The people that run the world know this. They use the spiritual realm. They use darkness to manifest what they need in the physical realm. They sacrifice. They do everything.
Crazy.
Right? They understand spirituality more than good people.
Yeah.
Ever since the Roman Empire, perverting everything and then
very, very fast.
Well, that leads me. I didn't
Because
expect-
you didn't have competition. I mean, they were satanic. I think they made it easier.
in your inaugural, and I was listening on headphones for the translation, so I just want to check this. You said, we have achieved this great victory and made this a safe country, and that's the predicate for everything that follows. And the next thing we're going to do in this term is to work on the economy to make it better.
Grow the economy, yeah.
And you said, correct me if I'm wrong, you said, I have a 3-point plan, and I'm thinking, I wonder what that is. I don't know, start a Federal Reserve Bank? And you said, the first point of my plan is seek God's wisdom.
Yes.
That is what you said.
Yeah, I said that, yeah.
Why would that be the first
That's
point of the
crazy.
plan?
Why wouldn't it be? Why should it be the first part of the plan?
Well, I think it should be. But I
And
can't.
most people would think that, right?
Think.
I've never heard any.
If they understand it, but they
of
don't
any
understand
country
it.
say that.
Because they probably they forgot to represent the people that elect them. Yeah. It's like you ask most of the people that elect the politicians. They say, "Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I believe that." But then you ask the politician, and he will say, "No, that's not." So who is he trying to pander into? I mean, it doesn't make sense, right?
Do you
So
think
it's a common sense thing to seek God's wisdom?
Exactly.
Yeah.
it's a
Bring
prerequisite for wise decision
bring
making?
common
Yes,
sense
exactly.
back.
So that's the first part of our plan.
Make America great.
I don't know why it makes me laugh. Do you think that that's one of the reasons that your successes, which are just measurable, I'm not saying this for ideological reasons, but just a fact that you've transformed the country in a good way and that you're literally the most popular elected leader in the world, again, not speculation, provable fact, you'd think that would be greeted in the hemisphere as this amazing thing, like what's going on in El Salvador. Instead,
Right.
there's been this, what's going on in El Salvador?
Yeah.
There's been hostility.
Yes.
Do you think that's why?
I'm not sure, but one of the reasons is that we don't pander to them. So probably they don't like that. It's probably a reason. It's like there's I'm not going to go into conspiracy theory. I'm going to go into provable facts, right? Like you said. So there's worldwide agendas, right? These are provable facts, right? They have benchmarks that they.
I love how he has to start
follow
it that way
and
because
develop.
otherwise he does
Yeah,
not want to
this is,
sound
you know,
crazy.
out there, right?
The whole world can hear him.
But sometimes if you work on those things, you're probably
He
neglecting
danced around that though
important
pretty
things
very
that
very
you-
well.
The things that your people are really asking for. Give you an example. When we arrested the gang members that were killing so much people that we were the murder capital of the world, literally the most.
But
dangerous
did you
place
die?
in
What's
the
up?
World, more dangerous than Haiti,
Welcome in.
right? More dangerous than Iraq. This was literally the most dangerous country in the world. We have triple the amount of the murder rate that Haiti has right now.
I don't own the rights to this, but if you want to watch this later on, but did you die? It's
So,
Tucker Carlson's
what do you have
interview
to-
with
what do
El
you have to do?
Salvador's
You have to
president.
stop that, right? I mean, it's like it's
Highly-
a no-brainer. I mean, you don't have to. You
highly
don't
recommend
even
watching
have
it from
a
the beginning.
Thought process. You have to stop that. That's the first thing you have to do. When we did that, we got huge condemnations. You name it. Say an organization.
How you been, though?
Condemnation from them.
How's life been?
So
Thanks for stopping
they
in.
were- and a lot of them were human rights organizations. And you would ask, but the what about the human right of a woman not to be raped? What about the human right of kids to play or to be free or to go to the park?
Exactly.
What about the human right to live?
Literally the only country that actually cares about human rights and human rights attack.
Right.
Where the human
It's
right to
so
die.
crazy, right? You would think that would be the basis. That would be the basis.
But no,
But I
they
mean, we
have a word
here in
for it.
America, we don't give a fuck about our veterans. We say,
Which, you know, they have
wait in line for all your medication. Wait in line to go see your doctors. Oh, 6 weeks. I can't wait 6 weeks, doc. Well, sorry, tough luck. Like, are you fuck? I just went and served this country, and this is how I'm getting treated. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, we send billions of dollars overseas to other countries. We don't take care of our own fucking people. Like, we are not the greatest country. We are not the greatest country in the world. Like, by a long shot.
That's not even like a. It's so rhetorical. Like, you can go to a country that has nothing and they have roads. They have the things that we pay our government for, right? And they don't have this whole tax system, and they got fucking all this oppression, and they got the U.S. like suppressing and corrupting their politics. At the end of the day, it's like everything we have in our system is so overcomplicated to the max. And this is a guy that knows nothing about anything, comes in and just like, okay,
Turns everything around just by being humble. Yeah.
one spirit, literally just humility.
Take care of the basic human rights, and his fucking country turns a 180. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and then he kind of, oh man, there's so much I could say about it, but just the way he said that, the human rights. Oh my gosh, it's the irony is just, yeah.
But
It's
you have
what
to prioritize.
I would like to hang down and have a conversation with this guy.
The human rights of the honest, hardworking, decent people, not the human rights that they do have. But you won't prioritize the human rights of the killers and rapists and murderers. And so we secured the country, and we did it with no help from any other country, and with huge condemnation in everything that we were doing. Everything. I mean, we changed the attorney general. We got so much condemnation because we changed the attorney general that we need to change to prosecute the murderers. So basically, we
get out the people that are corrupt. They can bring people in that are ready to do the fucking right thing.
Of what we were doing, and now it's that the results are there. That it's they're tangible, measurable, undeniable. Now they don't know what to do, because a lot of other countries are saying, maybe a lot of other countries similar to ours that have similar problems. They are saying maybe we should do that too, but they don't want that because that's not in their agenda.
But I guess
Again,
that's why I came here.
the agenda.
Yes.
Pause it.
I love how he keeps
Pause it.
blank
Pause it.
because he can't open
For the
it.
people in the back, the agenda is world domination. In layman's
I mean,
terms.
it goes way deeper than that.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying in layman's terms for the people that
We're in Europe,
want to say conspiracy theory. There, that's
where
simple one
people
thing
are
right there.
killed by the thousands every year, and what you've proven with very little money and no help from anyone else is it's not that hard to fix. Therefore, all that killing must be a voluntary decision that my government and many other governments are making about their own citizens.
You can make that logical.
Well, I don't know what other conclusion to reach. If El Salvador can do it, what's going on here?
Yes, you can make that logical conclusion. I think that's probably what they are afraid of.
Wasteful spending.
We don't have
Wasteful
weapons of mass
spending.
destruction, right?
No.
So why are they afraid? Why would they take so much time in make condemnations to El Salvador? Right? It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I love it,
What's
dude.
happening?
He's
What-
probing all the
So
questions so that
I
way he
think-
doesn't
I
have
think
to
they're
actually
afraid
open
of
up the cans of
example.
worms.
Because a lot of people might say, "Hey, we want that too."
It would be
They can do
counterproductive
it
to
with
say
no
certain
money,
things too
with
deep.
Right, yeah,
few
yeah.
resources, and with a huge problem. Because I heard some people say, "Oh, El Salvador could do it because the problem was not that big." I'm like, we're literally the murder capital of the world. How big?
How big can that get? That's why he's laughing.
The most dangerous place in the
The
world.
most dangerous place in the world.
In Haiti right now. So I mean, what bigger how bigger can the problem get? And at the same time, we had very few resources, and we were able to do it with no civilian casualties. After we started the war on gangs, we had no civilian casualties, and we lost 8 between police officers and soldiers. and we basically eradicated all crime.
So
And we arrested 70,000 gang members, which the number is not a number that just came up. That's the official number that all the organizations said we had of gang members. And you can, I mean, you can watch the World Bank reports, etc. They said El Salvador has around 70,000 gang members at 500,000 collaborators. So we spared the collaborators basically, and we only got the gang members. Why? Because collaborators, you know, family members,
Yes.
or you know, the woman that sell tortillas, and she had to tell, oh, the police is coming, because if not, she would probably have been killed by the gang. So most of the collaborators were not really criminals,
Yes.
but just people living in a society that was
Trying to live,
by gangs.
just
The
trying to
government
live, but they're surviving.
The real government was the gangs, just like in Haiti. You have
And that's the problem with law is law doesn't take intention into account, and intention is the only place where good and evil resides, right?
Right,
You really
yeah.
don't know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
do on the outside, but what, and so that's the difference between, by the way, ancient judges and modern day judges.
You have
It's
the
all-
real government. The government in Haiti is the gangs. It was like that. You had a formal government, of course, with offices and everything, but you have the real government in the territory, which were the gangs.
So, I mean, and I know you want to stick to the facts, but I mean, at some point you do have to. I mean, this is a really important question. Why would a government that has the means to end violent crime, not all, there's always going to be crime, people breaking laws, but violent crime, people murdering and raping each other,
Yes.
is a voluntary decision that a government makes. Why would a government choose to have that?
I don't know. I don't know. I
To
can make up
control the
theories, but I really-
people.
Do you have a gut instinct about it?
I think it's a combination of factors, like everything.
Yes.
They might be evil people that that are doing it on purpose, of course, and probably planning stuff. I don't know.
Yes. Possible.
Yeah, possibly. At the same time, there's a lot of people that they just being fed these ideologies, and they think they're doing the right thing.
Yes.
Right, like allowing shoplifting.
The
for example.
lower level puppets.
That's the most
is
stupid
like
thing
a-
you can think of.
Right.
Oh, you don't allow shoplifting here?
Pause that.
Of course,
Pause that.
So, but you would think
There is so many places in America that was allowing people just to go into your store and shoplift, and you could not stop them. If you did, you got in trouble. How
You could
fuck?
put the law-
How fucked up is that,
The logic is so insane,
dude? Like,
Imagine being a thief and be like, "Hey, where do I want to go? Where
here in
am
New
I
York, it
gonna
was catch,
go? Right
catch,
over there,
catch.
look at that.
Here in New York State, it was catch and release.
I'm a thief. That's where I'm going. Like immediately. Like, bro. Like what?
Like those riots that were going down. Oh goodness.
And then they can't have guns to defend themselves yet. They can't carry. So now, if I'm a thief, if I'm a murderer, if I'm a threat, if I'm anything like that,
That's where that Kyle Rittenhouse came from. Did you hear about the story about Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yeah,
That young
I
kid.
watched the interview.
Yeah. Like, come on now. He was there to fucking protect shit because like that is God law right there.
It's amazing how far we've come from like literal practicality. Coming from where people would want
Common sense is coming. Common
to
sense is
now
coming back.
Worshipping the politicians that are oppressing the very people.
Like
There
common
was a
sense
time
is
where they
coming
would
back.
be hung in the streets. Okay, I'm gonna pour my milk. I'll be right back.
Yep. Yo, what's up, Adam? I seen you in the tick and Twitch. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing?
why would anybody think allowing shoplifting would be a good idea?
I don't know.
Why? Why? I mean, that's the stupidest thing to think, right? Or giving away drugs. I said this in an
Yes.
interview. Or giving away drugs. Let's give away drugs. Right? It's like very stupid things, and you would guess that some of the people doing enacting these policies are not necessarily evil. They're just they've been fed this ideology. They think they're doing the right thing. It's like, I'll give you an example.
The low-level puppets,
I think
man.
a
They're
month
just.
ago or
Oh, you gotta
It's
replay.
like a doctor.
Rewind. Rewind.
Oh, I didn't know you were here. My bad.
Go grab
I
a
said this.
bite of this pizza.
We were at the.
Right? Or giving away drugs. Why would anybody think allowing shoplifting?
Dude,
Working
over
this
time,
emergency
people are going so
management
far away from
management
Jesus'
event.
car before bed, it's
Oh,
gonna
you're
be
working
really
right now?
silly.
It would be a good idea.
What kind of
you're
what
gonna
kind of
understand
event
the-
is it?
It's the stupidest thing to think, right? Or giving away drugs. I said this in
Yes.
an interview. Or giving away drugs. Let's give away drugs. Right? It's like very stupid things. And
If you've never seen this interview, though, Adam, I highly recommend to go watch it from the beginning. It's Tucker
are not
Carlson
necessarily evil.
interviewing
They've been fed
the El Salvadorian
think
president.
it's the right thing. It's like
Yeah, so he's like just like a doctor, right? A doctor.
It's about how he
is
turned his
literally a
country
puppet of a
around.
system that's corrupted. So a doctor.
Just listen to
means
John.
well,
Here.
But at the end of the day, it's still a puppet, and it doesn't know it's a puppet, but it's a puppet for something very, very dark and evil. And that's what he's explaining right now, right? Doctors, they
Yep.
mean well, but they go to a evil system that's completely.
give you an
you know,
example. Uh,
That's why they
I think
push
a month
prescription
ago
drugs
or
on
something
you.
like that. Yeah, like a month.
Mhm.
The Spanish police arrested a gang member that had fled El Salvador. So the gang member escaped. He flew. He went to Spain, and with an international operation between the police of our police and the Spanish police and Interpol, they were able to arrest the guy. So in those cases, you need to do an extradition because it's an automatic international operation. So they just get the guy, process him and send him.
Yes.
Send him to the original police for they file the claim.
Hey, before pause
The
it.
Spanish police was very proud of the arrest, so they put it up. They put it up in Twitter.
Adam's in an area where they're third NATO war 15 hours. So you can say a prayer tonight for my buddy Adam. Continue.
Yes, Adam. Where does Adam live?
Where exactly are you? Say in 2 seconds. Definitely like Midwest. Tennessee, right? On the west side of Tennessee, not the east side. Yeah, West Tennessee. Kind of like Tornado Valley. The old, like,
That's right. I don't know too much about some of
But
those
he's-
areas.
but he's working the emergency, like he's part of the emergency. Go out.
Well, that's gonna be, man, that's gonna be intense potentially.
One day when I have enough money, I'm building me a battle wagon going into a tornado, brother.
It'll be so much fun, dude.
God will keep you safe.
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So he said, we just arrested this gang member. So I quoted the tweet, and I said, great, send him, we'll take care of him, right? So that was used in his court hearing in Spain.
Stopped in at a perfect time, though.
Proof that
You're
he
just
wouldn't
sitting
get
around.
a fair trial here. So he was protected by Spanish laws, and he stayed there in Spain.
Maybe they don't have enough gang members in Spain.
Exactly. So, I mean, I don't care if they want to keep him. It's a mouth that we don't have to feed. It's a mouth that we don't have to feed, right?
Yes.
But so they can keep him. But the thing is that you would think, why would this Spanish government want an extra gang member?
Yes.
And it's not necessarily out of evil. It's just that the laws, the system, the things that are being fed to the judge, to the prosecutor. So they think that that my tweet was too mean, and
Because it's a police state there, Johnny boy.
not respected. He wouldn't get a fair trial in El Salvador, so he had to stay in Spain to be protected. I mean, they know he's a killer. They actually arrested him because of that. It was an international operation and everything. They know he probably murdered dozens of people, but they feel the need to protect him.
So what's sad about that is that that's a sign that your defense mechanism no longer works.
Yes.
And that your society is dying.
Yes.
And Spain is in my opinion, a
Western
wonderful
civilization is reaching a point into it will start failing.
I think that's obvious to those of us with great sadness, to those of us who live here.
Unless things are done, of course, you can always do.
So
stuff
okay,
to see.
two-part question: why do you think that's happening? Because it is recognizably happening in real time before us, and what can be done at this point to reverse it?
Well, everything erodes.
Reverse, that's a funny word.
Just
That's
laws
it's
of
not how it's going to
nature.
happen.
Yes.
I mean, we do. That's why we die. We age and we die.
Yes.
I mean, you can slow it, right? You can.
What's the definition? Pause it real quick.
You eventually gonna age and die.
Yes.
You cannot
Pause
avoid
it.
that.
Yeah,
Same
I'm not
happens
always ripped by the mouse.
What's the word again? Reverse.
Perverse, pervert. We've kind of changed what that word means because we've changed it to something sexual. But pervert always meant to distort what is true, to distort what is.
Pervert. Alter from its original course, meaning or state of distortion or corruption of what was.
Yep.
Charged with conspiring to pervert the course of justice. Pervert.
Pervert the course of justice. Everything you know.
Hey, you pervert.
The example
You deviant. Deviant's more it's not better than pervert.
I had an argument with at the beginning of the government. I had an argument with my Ministry of Public Works, my Minister of Public Works, because there was this neighborhood that was built in an area that you shouldn't build things there. It was a mountain, almost the soil was basically flour, so it was
You would think like the key to that though, right, is quick response,
with the mountain.
right? Because technology's gotten to where you guys can predict them coming.
The Ministry of Public Works has started building a huge.
I mean, obviously, still have some that drop down, but
to stop the houses from falling, right?
hey,
So they were
that's
building this huge.
that's close,
wall.
brother.
And of course, I can't micromanage.
2 blocks in front of you, brother. That's close. That's
I called my minister.
you felt the power of that fucker.
You won't stop the mountain. And I said, let's build houses for the people somewhere else. It would be cheaper, and
Well, I'm saying a prayer for you guys when before I go to bed. Make sure you message, just text me and tell me you're okay, brother.
International corporation and everything, it will be fine. So they finished the wall. They inaugurated thing. It didn't fall. Don't worry. Don't wait for that. Don't wait for that plot twist. But I was still angry because
That was funny.
That it was huge.
That was funny.
And
That was
there's a lot of
hilarious.
Risk that if in the future the wall falls,
yes,
it'll be on us because we built it, right?
Of course.
So I started pressuring him. Why do you build that wall? What do you build that wall? If the wall falls in the future, it would be our fault. And I thought he grew tired of me as the pressuring. He said, "Well, everything that is made by humans needs maintenance." I mean, of course, if we just leave the wall there, it'll fall in 10, 20, 30 years. But if we give maintenance to the wall won't fall, right? So that
Logically thinking,
not because of the wall itself, but
Well, if you make something strong, it'll last forever. Look at
relationship,
ancient structure.
Yes, that's
a
right.
plant at home. I mean,
Understanding
everything.
still need maintenance though.
Haircut, you need, if you want to maintain it, you need to spend time and resources.
Yeah,
and effort
to an
to maintain
extent,
it.
but not in the way that you
So,
necessarily think. Because
Western
you can build it so that way it
civilization
would
go like
need
this.
basically
Yes.
no maintenance.
So Western
you could
civilization
cover it
reached the
from the
peak.
elements.
I cannot.
If it's exposed to the
point
elements, that
exactly where
changes
the
things
peak
over
is.
time.
It's like timing the
obviously.
market, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna buy in the bottom and I'm gonna sell at the top. Nobody can do that, right?
And by the
so
way,
I don't know exactly.
that's also why you can go into like an ancient tomb and see the exact same sculpting of what exactly was there like whenever ago. there's no it's inside something, so it's blocked from the external elements, right? And it
Right.
preserves things like crazy. And then if you add like different temperatures and there's moisture in there, there's other elements.
That was the peak, but we can all agree that we're in the decline.
Yes.
So that is happening because we're not maintaining, we're not giving the correct maintenance to the civilization. Why? What made the West the leader in the world at the time we're living right now? What caused that to happen? A lot of things, like importing the scientific process, started developing science.
Yes.
Focusing, putting a lot of money into art, into science, into trying to build the best things and as fastest and as best and as great as possible, and importing wisdom and technology and trying to develop new technology and trying to but suddenly when you get wealthy, happens with families too.
Yes, it does.
Then people probably get spoiled, or they get, I want more things. I want that. I want this. You have to provide me that. And politicians. The problem. I mean, democracy is great, right? The U.S. has proven that democracy can work. But the problem with democracy, because everything has
if it's
pros
a
and
real
cons.
democracy.
The problem with democracy is that politicians have a great incentive to offer. To give away the treasury.
Yes.
So if I say, no, I'm going to keep the treasury because we might need it, for an emergency or something, nobody would like that. People would like, oh, I'm going to give away the treasury. So they would vote for him. Then another politician, you know what, I'm going to give the treasury plus another treasury. So we're going to go into debt, right? Everybody will say, great, let's receive more money from the treasury. And when I say treasury, I mean, anything, building stuff, giving free stuff, sending checks to people.
COVID relief.
Yeah, exactly. Getting, a stimulus, whatever. So the politicians have the incentives of, just giving away the treasury and entering huge amounts of debt. And that doesn't not only destroys the structure of the government, but it also destroys the structure of society. Because if you give, for example, money, okay, if you don't work, I give you money, right? Or if you can shoplift $1,000 a day and still get some money from the government for food, housing, why would you work in that store? Will be shoplifted and probably get in trouble, right? So the incentives are wrong, but it's not only because, maybe they are, but I'm not going to go into conspiracy theories, but it's not only because they're evil politicians or evil people planning everything, which might be the case, but I won't go into that. But just because things, the incentives are wrong.
Yes.
So even a normal, not evil politician has the incentive to give away the treasury because he needs the votes. I mean, he needs to be elected. That's what he needs, right? He needs the votes.
It's the nature of the system.
Yes, it's the nature of the system.
Yes, the system.
So the problem
that's what I'm
is
trying
that
to say.
democracy works. Nobody can say it doesn't.
Actually real.
Because it works in
100%.
the United States, right? But
And by the
don't
way,
maintain
a democracy can be depends what you mean by the word, right? I guess we've been very specific and changed the definition, but the people are choosing the king, right? And that's very hard to do in a melting pot society.
So
where
they died.
everyone has different beliefs.
So those people
Right? What
died
happens is
because
everybody has different beliefs, and everyone
you
wants
couldn't
to
get
be
to them in
king,
time.
right? You're not going to agree on a king ever.
Yeah, no, I know you live in
Society
the
separates.
sticks
This is what happened with the Tower of Babel. Society separates.
where
society separates.
Biden is fine.
Yeah, it's inevitable, right? Culture diversity does not work. You're literally saying values and beliefs, which there's only one truth. You're literally saying values and beliefs when they are different values and beliefs, right? More wrong beliefs, almost in other words, together in one country. It's better. It is better to have everybody in harmony with the wrong beliefs than everybody separate with slightly better beliefs, if that makes sense. It's like your entire country will fall apart completely.
if you don't give maintenance to the system, it will fall. like the wall, if you don't give maintenance to it, because it was the same system will degrade itself. So what you're having right now is a huge erosion of Western civilization. So we have governments pandering to their bases, to what to their ideology.
Also, I know that that's you though in Twitch.
Looking at what would happen.
Your game, your Twitch name
now. Do to get more votes in the election.
Miss you, brother. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out. It's been a minute since I streamed, so I miss the people.
We have this huge voter.
Big things coming, sir. Big things coming.
It's amazing how much he knows he has to refrain from.
To get their vote. Let's give them.
He'll be assassanated like JFK.
Well, stirring the pot.
It doesn't make sense for a country. I mean, why would you give $100,000 to each member of a voting group? Right? Should be illegal, but it's not, because who makes laws, right? It's the government. So the system is eroding, and if maintenance.
The system is written to break itself.
And fix all the things that have been, degraded in the last.
Foundation of the system itself is flawed.
Yes.
It will eventually fall.
So if the West doesn't continue to maintain its systems, which you have said, I think correctly, have worked really well for a couple hundred years, they will degrade just like anything else made by human hands. If you don't maintain it, it will fall, like your house. The question is,
house was
the
hit.
thing about that, and by maintain, when you dissect this in a economical fashion or political ideal, if the foundation of your country, let's say we talk about the Constitution and all these things a lot, if the foundation of your country is 100% true,
totally understand,
and there is,
I'm hoping they just went quick. You know what I mean?
Not deviate from that.
They did suffer that. You're right.
This is what cultures had back then.
I'm sorry that happened, bro. That's definitely tough, brother. Like the
biblical text or this doctrine or that doctrine.
That stuff stays with you too.
The further they deviate from whatever it is that they believe is true, the further everything else will start to crumble. Everything else that might look like it's irrelevant, right? Your nation, like your people, everything will begin to crumble because it's all connected. So it's just having that foundation anyway, without going on a rant here. If you just have something that will not allow to deviate from a certain set of principles as a foundation, bro, it's impossible, right? Like the golden rule with love. Like if you start the country off, if education was first building you up to be a better person, not memorizing external things, if it was a spiritual foundation, the way we were educated,
instead of being turned
right,
into workers.
We were taught,
yes,
understand us, understand what love is, understand what faith is, understand these laws, understand who we are, understand our power, and then you go do the external, because again, internal, and then you manifest the external. Dude, we'd see a whole different world. But guess what? Then those in power wouldn't be in power. And
would be in power. Yeah, we'd live in.
The power dynamic would now be equal and fair, and according to natural law, it would no longer.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just it's you need that foundation, right? So he's saying maintaining. If you have a foundation, maintaining is so fucking easy, because again, there's no deviating from that, and everybody has the same belief, and there's a system that's accountable to that. So it's impossible for everybody at the bottom to go against what they know is true, and it's a way to, it's kind of like a pyramid in that sense, and it's a way to have the people at the bottom be the power, not the people at the top. So now all of these people are holding us accountable, and
we have to remember
culture diversity.
Yeah,
the second you're like, oh, invite everybody in because I'm not racist, and that means that everybody should come in because I'm not racist, and we're so fucking retarded. We have no idea what we're even saying. And now all these other beliefs and values come in, and what do we have? How are we supposed to create a nation where you think this and I think that? That's literally fucking possible. And
so I think there is. I differ because I feel like you can have that as like a lot of different beliefs together and bring. Well, because we all learn each other.
No, we don't, because one person believes in pride and one person believes in humility. You're not understanding what I'm saying. Light and darkness cannot coexist. Like, if me and you are trying to raise kids, and you believe that all the corners need to be soft and the kids can't play outside and all this kind of stuff, and I believe, no, the kids can play outside, they can do this, and they can learn about nature, and they can do these things. How are our kids going to thrive? There's going to be constant resistance and a tug of war. There's no way you can have harmony.
Yeah, but that would eventually be that definitely would eventually figure it out.
No. How?
Power dynamic shifted to where
You know what happens? The split of nations happens. This happens every time in history. A nation, people start to have separating beliefs in a nation. The nation split. What happens in a church? The church grows too big. They start having different beliefs, and then they split. This happens in nations, and cultures, in like small groups and everything. Oh, let's see if I have deception muted.
Yeah, but I mean, kinda a mixed Discord. We all
Okay,
differ.
and
We all
why-
come
why-
from different walks of life. We all have different ideas.
Yes,
different thoughts,
everybody
so-
has different values and beliefs. Yes.
Yes, but like we all can better each other just by having conversations. Is what I'm saying.
Yes, and if you decide to go left and I decide to go right, how does that benefit a society?
But we have to. But if I go left and you go right, we have our reasons. Right?
Yes, that doesn't separate the love. That's not what I'm saying. But again, it's the same reason with my ex, right? I love her more than anyone will ever love her, which is it actually makes me very sad because I know nobody will be able to love her the same way I did. It's a crazy thing for me to think about, and yet knowing that I don't want anything to do with her. I understand who she is and I understand what she would do to me, logically speaking. So even though emotionally and I choose to love her,
You watch this
no matter what she
interview,
decides
then
to do, right?
feel free to add in
She
on the
has to be in a
conversation
different
about it,
because if we
brother.
were together,
'cause
what
That's what
happens?
this is for. This is my first time
This
watching
happens
it.
in a house, in a nation, right? And it's worse when you have like a big country. It's way worse when you have a big country and you have, again, the potential for that small of a group to control that big of a populace, right? This was the problem in the Roman Empire. This is way bigger of a problem now. And what
I
makes
sent
it
you a message, deception.
not
God,
what makes it even worse in that sense is that people don't understand it's a problem now. People are, without even realizing it, being indoctrinated to ask for bigger government, for ask for more security, for ask for more rights to be taken away. Like they don't even realize what they're saying when they're saying the words they're saying. They say the word racist. They don't know what they're like. Everything that.
Well,
everything
yeah,
that
because they're
use is-
blinded. They're blind. So just how we are having a conversation the other day, how you saying about having love for somebody and up on them. This I would have the same argument in that sense where you have those two people that are different belief systems, still have to have that love and that humility that, hey, maybe today that this person eyes will open to that, they'll be able to
Yes, you
walk
still
back this
plant
way.
seeds.
But
But you're
you
not
should-
being ignorant to the fact
but
that
you
they're
sh-
planting bad seeds in your garden.
But isn't that
in your
also a
nation
beautiful thing about
simultaneously? You
certain
don't
states,
want
right?
weeds. You want
So certain
more
states,
seeds than you want weeds, and when you have weeds, and
yeah.
seeds together,
But what I'm
you
saying
have-
is, that certain states
there's
can
no-
run the way that they want, right? That's the beauty of the state. That's why it's smaller than the federal government. They can run their state how they. The problem is that. all
So then
these
why would you have
regulations-
something bigger than the state that can control the state?
Because
What's the
currently,
point of that?
what do you mean?
If
The
I
federal,
wanna
the
have my
federal
own beliefs-
government, the
I
federal.
wanna have
Hold on,
separate
hold
beliefs
on.
from my neighbors.
The state government, right, is there, but the federal government should be only used in a lower capacity. That's it.
But
Federal
the federal
government.
government in ancient times, guess what? It was like a little bit bigger than your city. It was like this other now.
No,
like,
I know, but what I'm
on a
saying
totally
is,
different scale.
what
Federal now means one person controlling the whole world. That's what you mean when you say federal now, right? It's no
No.
longer like different nations and
No.
different beliefs and different cultures. The way
it's
like-
it's not just one person.
So where would you draw the line in
I'm
centralized
saying-
power?
I'm
And how good of a person do you think you would have to be? And give me an example of that person that could handle that much power.
Me.
And handle that type of position.
Me.
No.
This
You know
guy,
you're- you
this
know-
guy,
you
this guy,
know-
this guy in the interview right now, not Tucker Carlson, but the El Salvadorian right there.
No, him neither.
I'd say
Him
he's got a
neither.
better chance than most people that.
This is what I mean by humility. We are so fucking retarded that we think we can even handle it, right? And I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. None of us can handle it. None of us can handle. We don't understand what we can't even handle right now. We don't even understand what's control. So again, none of us can handle it. We like to think we can because again, I'm.
Oh yeah. You don't
I-
know if you can handle it until you're in the fucking shit, bro. Like it's called.
No,
it's
you
called
can.
burning.
You can know, and this is the thing. This
Yeah,
is
it's
the
called
power
being
of
in the
humility.
fire. It's
Like,
called being in the fire.
being
Being in the
infinity
fire.
moment.
Being in the fire. The only way you'll know. is
No,
in the
I
fire.
am saying without going in the fire, you can know.
That's the only way
I'm
to know.
saying with pride.
I'm not
you'll learn the hard way
I'm
every
not
time.
talking about physically.
With
being
pride, you'll learn the hard way every time.
In the
with
fire, brother.
humility, you have the opportunity.
Spiritually.
I know. I understand what you're saying. Okay. I understand everything you're saying. I'm saying that. Okay. What? Fuck, man. I had a web there that it wasn't trying to lose. It was. What's the last thing you said there? Because you were saying. So basically, with pride, right?
Yeah.
With pride, you're gonna learn it the hard way. With humility, you don't have to learn it the hard way. So it's more about learning foundational principles.
No, the difference is with pride you learn it the hard way. With humility, you can still learn it the hard way by having humility.
You're missing my point. With humility, you avoid the whole. You see the situation before it even happens. You understand universal law that'll create the. You see the deeper thing.
But you still would go through. You
caught up in the-
still would go through some shit. This shit just happens.
Yes, you'll always go through shit at a different level because you
That's
don't have
what
humility.
That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is that the level of humility you have is the level of hardship you won't have to go through. I'm just saying like a very simple concept here. The level of humility you have is the same level of hardship you won't have to go through.
Yeah.
And you can say the same thing with faith, and it'll affect different areas of your life. Fear will affect different areas, and pride will affect different areas, right? So faith and humility, these things, and if you focus on these concepts,
I don't know.
right,
You say other cultures should keep their cultures together, but I say it shouldn't because like I love learning about other people's cultures because like if I didn't learn about it, then I would have no understanding of what other cultures are out there, and I wouldn't see the I wouldn't be able to see the beauty. I wouldn't be able to see the beauty of said culture because there's beauty in every culture in my.
Think about what you're saying right now, though.
Okay, but Cap, that has not.
There is you are agreeing that there is more than one truth, and you think truth is subjective. Because when everybody believes in one truth, everybody will manifest a similar society. That's not to say that I can't have a blue house and you can't have a green house, right? But everybody will have foundational things that will make societies look completely different, and you don't. It's like saying, "Oh, I want to know what hell looks like. I want to know what Sodom and Gomorrah looks like. I want that to exist so I can go experience that." Right? Well, at the end of the day, right, there is only one truth, and sure, you could find it interesting to pursue.
So at the end of the day, there is multiple truths because we don't know what actually is true until we take our last breath here.
That's not true.
It is true.
That is so not true, bro. Don't turn your brain off like that. Oh man.
I'm not turning my brain off. I'm just saying.
I don't have to be a number one or a number two to understand that 1 + 1 is 2. I have a mind that can conceive things and understand what a pair is, even though I'm not a pair. I have a mind that can. That's what a mind is.
Well, no, 1 + 1 does not equal 2. 1 + 1 can equal 1.
Shut up. You know what I'm saying. It's
all about context.
I'm too high to get like.
I'm arguing just to argue. I got you. No, I understand where you come from.
So, anyways, with that being said, you can understand everything, and you can always understand more without actually going and getting flamed and torched by the fire, so to speak. The reality is, pride and arrogance usually means we need that physical torch by the fire to learn the spiritual lesson.
Yeah, if you get burned, you don't.
That's the sad reality of not being perfect. But I'm saying in a perfect society, there is no learning the hard way because you understand and you see what is and see what is true. Perfect faith cannot manifest fear.
But for you to say that perfect harmony can't happen with different cultures together is where I disagree.
That doesn't even make any sense. No, just think about it logically. Don't look at the surface level. The surface level, then you're gonna start coming up with like different buzzwords. Look at the logic behind influence and how influence works.
But yeah.
What makes another culture right over here? They are the way they are for a reason, right? You're saying that. Well, I like the way that they do this and this and this and this and that. That's fine if you like the color of their fucking things that they wear. But we're talking about literal foundational principles here that create cultures and manifest these what we call cultures anyways. Values and beliefs.
So I stand corrected. There's some cultures out there that is absolutely terrible and you can get rid of those. But
no, every culture is not perfect. Right? So what you're saying is it's interesting to see other non-perfect cultures. Well, if every culture was perfect, you would have less diversity in culture. you actually couldn't really have diversity in culture, because culture is a manifestation of values and values and beliefs would be in harmony. You wouldn't have this person over here having a house like that and that person having a house like that, because again, people would have similar beliefs. They would understand the roles of a
Well,
certain
yeah,
group, and they
like
wouldn't want- they
culture
wouldn't
would be
want more
different,
than they need.
different
They
areas,
wouldn't
but at the
want
same
more
time,
than they need.
so that's what I'm saying is the separation of the cultures in different areas, but they can all live in a vicinity of each other, but in their own collective areas, and they all can work in a harmony for a common goal. Because it doesn't matter what culture you're in, majority of them want just basic human rights, right? In most cultures, if I'm not mistaken, they get behind that common idea.
Islam's religion's base is literally world domination.
Yeah, but I know a bunch of Muslim people that don't think that way. So unless you're saying all Muslims are think that way, which I heavily argue. Like my buddy's Muslim, he doesn't think that way.
Have you heard of the term taqiya?
He was raised on. I have not.
Have you? Okay. Look that up, and here I might have a screenshot actually.
What is that, taqiya?
Yes.
May's doing great though, Adam. May is doing great. By the way, she's sleeping right now.
Here, I'll DM this to you.
Taqiya?
Yes.
Tekia?
No, TAQ.
Takua.
Or
Takua?
yeah, I sent you a screenshot.
Water faucets? What do you have me look up?
I sent you a DM.
Oh. They don't have a fucking U after the Q? What kind of fucking stupid shit is that? So we are allowed to lie for the sake of Islam and Allah. So it's basically the same thing as Jewish people talk about certain topics, right? Funny that they're both similar.
And Europa, the last battle, what did they say? They want a world with.
So you're saying my buddy who's Kurdish, we talk all the time, is pretending to be my friend.
It's very possible.
Well, what does he gain from doing so? Like, we work together, we go months without talking to each other, and randomly hit each other up, and just check on how each
It's almost like
other's
we're
doing.
talking about two separate things, because the better I am, right? The better of a person I am, the brighter of a light I have, right? I could go in a room with a Satanist and we could sing Kumbaya and have dinner and roast and have a good time, right?
That's how I am.
It's like you're saying that light cannot be in the darkness and darkness cannot be in the light. I am saying that when you are creating anything, or if you want anything to work, you do not want darkness mixed with light. You want the light to eradicate the darkness, right? What happens when you let all this darkness come in? You don't have a bright enough light to eradicate the darkness, right? And we could talk really specific about what this means on like an immigrant.
But if there is any darkness to remind the light of what darkness is, then there's possibility of the light eventually turning dark.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting at. Now you get what I'm saying? Thank you.
That's what of course I know. I've been knowing what you're saying since the beginning. I just don't know how to say what I'm saying different in a way where it can. There's a way that I want to illustrate this where it'll hit better.
But that's the basis of what I'm trying to say.
So when you have people with different beliefs and values in the same, if I am trying to be productive in this external realm, in this physical world with you, and I have different internal values than you, guess what? We are going to be not as productive creating that physical whatever. That's literally by the way, the Tower of Babel. But
yeah, I wouldn't surround myself with you if I surround myself with people that morally think the same as me. We may think different things, but morally we're on the same path. Same path, same brainwave, same energy, same spirit.
Yeah.
We think differently.
And it's not to say that you cannot get along with somebody that's whatever. But
yeah.
the word get along, the word get along Okay, so
No, I just said it to my daughter earlier today, perfectly. It's okay. You can love everybody, but you don't like everybody. You don't have to. You don't have to like somebody that you love. I love my family members, everybody in my family, but I don't like them.
what you're saying on a
You
logistical
don't
level
have
is
to do
you
that, though.
love
Even
what you're saying on a logistical level though is you love them, but you don't like their traits and what's inside of them, which is exactly how it
Yes.
should be.
no, it's not. Because even the Bible. See, everyone takes this quote from the Bible, "Love thy neighbor," and it's like, oh, you're a
I'm
Christian.
speaking
You have to.
logistically here.
Can I
You
finish?
can
Yeah,
quote
I'm
the
not. I'm not quoting the Bible.
the Bible does say that, but keep going, Deception.
I know. I'm just speaking logically.
Okay, so the Bible says to love thy neighbor, right? And people use that as an argument against Christians that they have to be tolerant and, let all of these other fuckers in. But what is another verse in the Bible?
I don't know. We're studying the Bible, so
It's
I'll
it's
eventually
here,
learn
Let
this.
I'll read it off. I'll read it off.
let them in. You said,
It's
or
from
what?
Matthew. It's from Matthew
Give me a second.
10:34.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
It says,
Pull this up. You should pull it up on your.
Oh yeah, I could do that. The Matthew.
What's the verse?
Matthew what?
What's the verse?
Matthew 10:34. It says, "Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword."
Yes. Do you know what that means?
You know what that means. This whole love thy
Read it
neighbor
again.
verse in the
Read it
Bible,
again.
that
Read
is
it again.
for other Christians. This is not for
So,
blasphemers
so
worshiping
what was it?
false idols.
So what was it?
Okay, then you're missing the definition of love because you are loving them. You're not loving their evil. Like the whole point of love your enemy is love your enemy, right? Not what they do, but love them. That doesn't mean you can't kill them. That does not mean you can't kill them. Let me be very clear. Right?
Yeah,
The thing that changed from the Old
100%.
to the New Testament was this. The thing that changed
You
from the
can
Old
kill
to
him
the New
and still
Testament
love
was
him.
this. The thing that changed from the Old to the New Testament was this. It used to be an eye for an eye, right? So if you did something to me, I could cause revenge. That was lawful because they didn't have a higher truth. Now, if you take something from me, I'm not going to take something from you because you took something from me. I'm only going to eradicate you if you become an actual evil problem. If you become an actual problem and I need to eradicate you, I will, but I will still love you regardless. It's a completely different thing to love somebody and still kill them versus
Hence what we
love
should
them
do to
out of hate, or
pedophiles.
kill them out of hate.
Hence what we should do to pedophiles.
It's completely different. If you're defending yourself, you might love the person, right? But you're defending yourself. It's you or him, right? It's the light that's going to survive or the darkness that's going to survive.
I'm saying
You're gonna
pedophiles,
kill
man. Fuck
and you're going to
pedophiles.
kill that darkness, and you're going to kill that darkness in front of you, right? Because it's only logical if we're going back to just basic logic. We can quote the Bible, but I'm going to dissect what the logic behind those actual things because this is stuff you can conceive regardless of. Like, that's what it says. There's a time for it to kill. There's a reason that right after the Ten Commandments said, "Thou shalt not kill," Moses went and killed because it didn't say, "Thou shalt not kill." The fucking Romans changed that so there would be no revolt on the empire. The original Hebrew word, closely related to murder, but even more specific, it meant to unjustifiably do it. So out of hate, out of resentment, out of whatever it would be,
Anger.
And that's what it was saying. And it was a literal word that it was not killed at all. They completely changed it because they needed to create docile Christians in the Roman Catholic
Oh,
Church.
did you know that Caesar possibly was a man of God before he was killed? Deception. I'll go. Julius Caesar. I'll go. Show you my thought on a later time. I showed John earlier. And I got him really.
Yes, the line of Caesars. I can't wait to learn about them because they're so.
What?
They're connected
I
to
haven't
so
heard
many
that
things.
before, but that sounds cool. Anyways, going back to the
Go back to the video.
love all of this evil shit or whatever. No, you do not
No,
love the
you don't love
blasphemer.
evil.
No.
Well, that is what Islam is. It is evil.
Is Islam? Yeah, if Islam is a characteristic or a belief, yes.
Fanatical
Love being
Islam is.
unconditional means that I love the vessel. I love the person regardless of the things that are in that person because I see them as separate things. And you can, once you understand who you are, you understand you are not your arm, you are not this, you are not any of these things. You are separate from that, right? Those are symptoms. That's a vessel. So you love the person regardless of what's in that vessel. It's that's what it means to
And
unconditional.
my
So, like,
buddy,
when you
that's
can give
Kurdish,
that-
has
when you
been
can
here
give-
since
when you
10
can
years
give
old.
that energy to somebody, by the way, you can literally see this. It's insane. You can literally change, and everyone sucks at love. We don't understand. We don't harness the energy like the way we should. We don't even understand what that means. We think we love someone, but
I
we
need to
barely
get
love them. We don't-
Kayvon in here. Get Kayvon.
If you could get like a higher tier of love, bro, the way that you could heal people would be insane. Like it would actually be scary.
Love you too, Adam. Be safe and definitely text me and
Such
let me
powerful
know
energy.
when everybody's safe, so I know you're safe. I'll say some prayers for you tonight, brother. Stay safe, and if you need anything, just let me know. Whatever I can to make that shit happen. My buddy Adam, that's gotta go.
Okay.
He's down in West Tennessee, and they are in to watch for the.
Oh, nice, nice.
He works like as a mercy.
What's up, Stealth?
Oh, I was just saying, we were learning about Mr. How do you say his name? But the guy, the president of El Salvador, he calls himself a dictator, the world's coolest dictator. And he was the one that knew nothing about anything and turned El Salvador from the worst place in the world to live to the best place in the world to live within like an instant.
Basically,
And,
paying attention to basic human.
No,
it goes deeper, but in a nutshell.
No, but there's so much context that
you
gets
say,
taken into
Kat?
context when you say that. So that's
So it goes. It's deeper than what I'm about to say, but basically he
paid attention to
basic human rights and made that more of a priority than anything else.
That's not what it was.
That's
but
completely false.
That
have
was
you
a
seen
symptom
the
thing.
conditions
That
in
is
their
not what it
prison?
was. He says it himself, right?
I'm saying it just not in a literal sense. I'm saying just like in a tying everything up, and then you dive into other things.
He needed the wisdom. He first needed the wisdom, right? Because he's a fucking nobody. So he first needed the wisdom to understand
From God.
What he first needed the wisdom to understand how nature worked. Like what? Hold on. Sorry. Now I'm getting distracted here because it's stupid. But he first needed the wisdom to understand how to manifest a society, right? So he wanted to understand what the right of a human even was. Like what is morally correct for a human to even have or not have, blah 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 blah, right? And these are all the questions that he needed answered. So this is where he started to even understand what humans needed, not what they wanted, what they needed, right? There's a difference between me wanting, all my fucking desires and what someone actually needs to create a healthy society, right? Most people, they want and they lust and they want all these things, so they go to America thinking it's a healthy society when it's quite the literal fucking opposite.
Appreciate you
And
too,
so
brother.
He wants to know really what do people need, and so he's going from the foundation is how do I give the people what they actually need, and
Much
he
love,
starts
homie.
there. He starts from these basic questions that we kind of think are like common sense, but we never talk about it because again we just use buzzwords, human rights or whatever. And so yeah, he starts with these basic things, and he brings peace. If he can have peace, if he can start with peace, because there was no peace, there was so much fucking.
What did he say? What did he say? If you win the spiritual war, you can.
Yes. So once you understand what the
what
what that actually means,
bring it
though,
to the physical, or
yes, once you understand what that actually means,
it'll start to manifest.
because everybody uses those words.
He said, if you win in the spiritual, it'll start to manifest.
Yes, if you understand peace, if you understand love, if you understand these unseen things that don't have physical fucking things that you can see, taste, or hear, when you can understand these concepts, you're going to manifest an amazing society because everything is first, and again, foundationally spiritual before it is physical. Physical is just a manifestation of something deeper always. And so he was just the way he uses the words, he barely knows English, kind of. He's really good at English because he has to be, but it's not his main language, so his accent is kind of funny when he's speaking, but and trying to like find the right word to say. But anyways, yeah. So he turned this place from the worst to the best place by just going back to the words that he used. He said there's an unofficial and official way. One's gonna sound crazy to the mass, and one's gonna be the official way. And he said, well, the unofficial thing is like seek God's wisdom, like seek universal truth, seek what is actually real, because I'm not going to play copycat of what they're doing. I'm going to understand.
And the official reason they can't talk about.
Yeah, and he said multiple times already.
Does anyone in the West, do its leaders have the will to fix the system that is clearly failing? Do you think that will happen? And if it doesn't, what is the message about democracy to the rest of the world?
Well, the fun thing about anything, about any concept like democracy, that it works until it doesn't, right?
Right, that's right.
It happened with monarchies. It happened with
right.
anything, right? They say things like, oh, we have to separate religion from state. It worked. It really worked. But it also worked religion with the state at their time.
Yes.
So
very well.
Yes.
That's why we can't just
well,
use correlation as truth. There's so many other factors.
So the thing is that things work until they don't, right? So the problem is not democracy. I mean, it's not the concept of democracy. The concept of democracy is great. I mean, imagine the power of the people. Why would the people have the power to decide their own things? It's like the most. I mean, I really like the concept, and it's not only a theoretical concept like communism, right? It works. I mean, democracy has been proven to work.
And yet, nobody wants fluoride in their water. Everybody where I live, none of them want fluoride in their water. And guess what? There's fluoride in our water. At the end of the day, the people have an illusion of say in what goes on, and that's kind of what he's touching on.
Yes, I know.
It's surface level because it goes into literally everything, seen and unseen.
Right, and it worked. Nobody can say it didn't. It worked. But so the fact that democracy appears to not be working, I don't think it's because the concept doesn't work, like church separated from a state or church conjoined with the state.
Yes.
It's just that things work until they don't. So the problem, I think, is not the concept of democracy itself, but the state of the democracies in the world right now.
Have we reached the end of the democratic period?
I don't know, but it's maybe the beginning of the end. If not,
yes, it is.
If a huge maintenance team doesn't come and fix things. It's like, this is not about geopolitics or anything. I'm not going to even mention the countries. But I saw, somebody showed me the 600-meter railway that was built in California. And it cost like, $15 billion, something like that, to build a 600-meter piece of railway that they were building.
It's a lot per meter.
Yes. So
his face, bro. Keep it together, Tucker.
You cannot go on. I mean, it's like obvious. It's like somebody eats too much, right? I mean, you can be a little fat, right? It's fine. But then if somebody's morbidly fat, somebody will come and say, okay, you mean you have to stop, right? Because your heart can't take it anymore, right?
And isn't it funny how we wait till it gets that bad before we say something? Because if we say something sooner, we're known as mean. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll wait till you're fucking dead then.
So you're morbidly obese and about to die.
I love you so much that I'm telling you, even though you've never had a donut before in your life, I'm telling you, don't even take the first fucking bite. I see the end. I see the end. Like, okay, I'm kind of being insane, but that is also
600-pound life. 600-pound life.
It's like, you want to tell them right in the beginning. You don't want to wait.
I'm a beast.
I don't drink, but if
I'm fat. I know I'm fat.
Yeah, and somebody that loves you is going to try to do everything they can to help you with.
Your liver can't take that anymore. Look at your liver.
Understand what you need to do.
How it is right now.
Bitch, you ain't fat, or you ain't chunky. You fat, girl. Go be out there.
600 meter of railway.
Now there's some people that have like medical conditions.
10 years.
But majority of people.
Which can be healed. Victim mentality is a joke, dude. You can regrow fucking limbs if you understand.
Because if not,
the laws of the universe.
The decline is inevitable. It's inevitable. I mean, it's already there. It's not
We're
like
so fucking victimhood. Our faith is so, like, we don't understand.
No. I mean, it's there. I mean, it's $15 billion to make a 600-meter piece of railway that's not even working. In 10 years, the Empire State was built in a year. 1 year.
What year?
The Empire State. Things were working, right? I don't know how were things back then. I don't know, but they built the Empire State in 1 year. What happened with the World Trade Center Freedom Tower? They was changed the name later to World Trade Center. How long did it take?
Forever.
Yeah. And it was
why
the whole country united to build it.
Get into the gatekeepers, but he says, "Oh, I can't get into that."
Investors willing to pour money on it. or engineers. I mean, why would it take over a decade?
I
to
love how
build
he probes
something
the
that was
question
so
though without
significant
having to go
for
into the
whole
conspiracy
country?
himself. It's awesome.
I mean, you could build the tallest building in the world. You didn't. You could have built the tallest building in the world and said, okay, we're coming back bigger and stronger. We're going to build, we got a hit, but now we're going to build back better and stronger, build back better and stronger, right? Or whatever. And build it, 2-mile high skyscraper. I'm not a fan of 2-mile high skyscrapers, but you could have done that. I mean, you have the money, you have the resources, you have the engineers, you have the market. Because if I built a mile skyscraper, I can fill with offices because I don't have enough market to fill with residences and offices or whatever. You do have the market in New York to to build offices, and you want hotel rooms. I mean, it would feel like this, but you didn't. You took over a decade to build a
Why?
very unimpressive building. So
Very right.
And that was
That's our tribute to the people that died.
3 years ago.
Yes.
Now you're building 600
And pause it real quick.
$15 billion.
And just to touch on that 9/11 issue, the thing that hit the Pentagon, it magically went right out all of the stuff because of all the $1 trillion that was questioned, the documentation that was on all that money, where it went.
Yeah, back then
magically
they didn't
just
have those
disappeared.
kind of records, but now people understand.
Magically
how the design- now they're becoming
was in that spot, and that plane hit the exact spot to get.
Yeah.
We still don't
Back
know where
then,
trillions of dollars went.
people wouldn't have been suspicious of the side of the building, right? Because again, people didn't understand.
But continue.
Like the specifics of those.
We can touch
people
on
there
that. We can touch on that.
Yeah. Here we go.
So, how long it would take to rebuild the Baltimore Bridge? Should take a year.
How long would it take here?
Here?
Yeah.
A year.
Here.
2 years. And we're a small, poor country. I mean, we're one of the poorest nations in the world, right?
No, that's why this is so shameful and interesting.
Yeah. But, I mean, the U.S. has they have still unlimited amounts of resources.
Wasted money.
Free money, right? That's another topic, but you can just bring.
You just talked about the Federal Reserve.
You want to build it made of gold?
Bit more money.
I mean, you can do anything, right? You just, how much is it? Do it.
So that sounds like a systemic failure. It doesn't sound like
it's a systemic failure.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
systemic.
What you're describing maybe can't be. Maybe that's something that you like have to level and rebuild or something. Maybe that's beyond maintenance. I don't know. What is the answer to that?
I don't know, but you need leadership. But I'll tell you something. If you see the mess that we were living here,
yes,
it's a bigger mess than what you have over there.
Yeah.
So.
And now they're living the best. It's hilarious.
So, well, just the fact that a third of our population fled the country and went to the United States.
I know.
Gives you an example that the mess we were living here and that we still have in other areas that, not safety, we're the safest country in the Western Hemisphere, but we have problems in other areas, like the economy, for example.
Yeah.
But our problems were bigger than your problems in relative sizes.
So you said
so
that
if you can fix a mess like this in the U.S. with a limited amount of wealth, with scientists, innovation like no other country in the world. Still, the innovations coming from the U.S. is more than any other country. Still, right? Even not because of the government, but it has the best innovators, AI.
For sure.
I mean, anything. So you still have the best innovators. You still have the biggest companies. You still have the world reserve currency, the biggest wealth, the biggest GDP. The availability to hire talent from anywhere. You can bring whatever talent you need to fix any gaps. You can pick any. You get it. You get what you want. You still can get what you want. You can't get attacked because you're
too far away.
You're too far away from anyone that wants to attack you, because Mexico or Canada are not going to attack the U.S. So your enemies are too far away, and you still have the biggest army, the biggest armed forces. So
biggest energy reserves in the
yes,
world.
and yeah, and the U.S. like Russia, they were built as superpowers. So it's not like, for example, if you see the economy in Spain, it's very good. It's a robust economy. It's big, G7.
Yeah.
But they are how you say in English, turron, nugget? They sell nugget, right?
Yeah.
Or they sell Iberic ham.
Yeah.
So it's very good, expensive, but you don't actually need that.
Right.
So
luxury goods.
Luxury goods. So if you sanction Spain, you'll break their economy. But if you sanction Russia, you can't break Russia because they are built as a superpower.
Yes.
So they have wheat, they have energy, they have natural gas, oil.
Yes.
Because they were built like that.
Industrial capacity.
Industrial capacity, factories, workers. So the U.S. is like that too. It was built as a superpower. So you have wheat, you have corn, you have workers, you have blue-collar workers, you have trained, skilled factory workers, you have colleges, you have universities, you have a school system, you have infrastructure, you have cities, tourism, the Mississippi River. I mean, you have everything. You have ships, you have warehouses, agriculture, fertile lands. What you didn't have before you got, right? You took from Mexico or whatever. So the U.S. was built to be a superpower, right? Acquire land, acquire fertile lands, Texas was part of Mexico, but it's part of the U.S. and you have all the oil there. So, and then you have California. And the U.S. is built as a superpower. So the U.S. has everything to go on for 1,000 years. It's not like it's doomed to fail. But apparently the leaders, or most of them, you have probably very good leaders, but most of the leaders, they're not seeing it. Either they are evil, or this is not conspiracy theory. It's just the options you have. Either they're evil, and they want to destroy the U.S. because of some evil reason, or they're puppets, and they are being handled by people that need the U.S. to be.
Oh, he really went into that. Look at his face. Look at his face. You're muted, by the way.
Oh my goodness,
Oh,
are
it's
you fucking
hilarious.
serious? But anyways, his face, dude.
His face,
So
dude.
different tiers of puppets, he was saying, right? So the
Yes.
doctors, right? So there's so many different tiers, and once you can understand how everybody is a victim to the same system, and the system itself is designed, and that's why when people say like we live in a democracy and all this, it's like, what do you really mean by that? Because our entire system is designed so money flows up. Everything is designed for the opposite. Technically, it's an illusion of democracy. But anyways, the puppets at the bottom are the doctors, right? They are part of a system that teaches them dark doctrine or wrong doctrine, inverted truths, things that are false, right? They mean well. They're gonna go to you and say, no, this is the actual truth. I went I went to school for all this time. They mean well, but they don't know better. Then there's the people above them, mean well, know a little bit more than them, but they still know nothing of the corruption. They're still being used as puppets, and so it's kind of like when you climb the corporate ladder. It's like, oh yeah, no, I have. So they mean well, but they're still part of the same bullshit. And then you get higher, and then you get into the actual CEOs of mega corporations. This is where you're probably a high-ranking Freemason, or this is a whole different level of puppet, because now you're conscious of what you're doing, and so this changes the whole ball game here. And so when he's saying there's puppets and everything like that, like this goes into a yeah, we could talk about it for hours, but I think you get
Or
what
they're
I'm saying
incompetent.
Oh
already.
yeah.
And they just doing.
That was just candy for the audience.
Doing the
So.
right stuff. Or
Yes.
Sorry, I said 3, but
It's fun elaborating it because then I get better at
incentives,
just expressing myself in general.
changing a country and changing a lot of things that are badly done probably will anger some people, right? Some groups, some lobbies, some interests. If you say, okay, we're going to stop the railway that's costing us $15 billion per 600 meters, a lot of companies.
$15 billion
I don't know, mayors,
for for 600 meters
you have
in
a
10
system
years.
that-
What the fuck?
That it needs to be handled.
Yeah, we got vets on the
So
street.
That needs leadership, and it needs a clear mandate.
Wait till you hear what the money that I mean,
little hard
dude.
to
That
get.
Oh, that's
actually small
Because,
scale. It's
That's
small
just
scale.
that's tip of the iceberg. That's tip of the iceberg, bro.
But
Yeah,
you need to do
because
it.
there's people
Well,
that'll be like,
I
"Oh,
mean,
it's because of
ultimately,
this." I'm like,
you well
dude,
know,
that's not even a drop in
since
the
you've
ocean.
succeeded in
What
it,
we're saying, I mean, that is
so
a drop in the
frankly,
ocean, but it's such
the
a small.
instrument for all of that is the ballot, is the election itself. Like, how many votes do you get? That's your mandate.
Mhm.
But I think there is a sense among a lot of non-conspiracy minded voters in the United States that that part of the system is itself corrupt.
Yes.
And that it is actually hard to affect change through voting because it's rigged. And so with that in mind, do you think Trump, he's ahead in the polls, do you think he can get elected?
Well, yes, he can get elected. Yeah. I'll give you an example. We, in 2019, the system was totally rigged. I mean, they canceled our party. I mean, we were running with a party, and they canceled it. I mean, they annulled our party. So I was partyless. So we went to a small party and said, you don't have any candidates. You're very small. Do you want to win the election? So we got that party registration, and they canceled that party. Yeah. And they canceled that party in the last day that you can file the candidacy. So we got a medium-sized party at 11 p.m. and we were able to file our candidacy. So it was not like it was easy or the system wasn't rigged. It was just so fair that we just we put up our.
Yeah.
It was very hard to win, and then when we won, since we didn't have a simultaneous parliamentary election.
Well, look at Mexico. Mexico's heavily controlled and rigged. And even what was it, 2 years ago when they had their elections? I forget when their elections were. Just under 30 people all got assassinated the second they made it either into power, almost into power, or so it's like anybody on the good side. Think about how quick they get knocked out. And to say it's rigged, I mean, there's obviously an understatement, but
Right.
And so so in his situation, he's like, it was very hard, even where I live, right? And where he lives, it would be easier than a place like Mexico, right? Because this place is completely destabilized. But
we actually went to the executive.
if he was in Mexico, he would have been killed, for example.
Totally
Right.
to the legislative branch and the judicial branch. So they control the Supreme Court, and they control 90% of the legislative body. So I had to veto everything, and they override my vetoes, and they approved over 70 laws that I veto. Yes, and everything that we do, Supreme Court, unconstitutional. Yeah. So we went to the people and said, we cannot work like this. We need a majority in Congress. We need a huge majority in Congress because we not only need to approve laws, we need to get all these people out. And the only way to get it out democratically and respecting the rules of the system is that we get a huge, immense majority in Congress, right? Because Congress can fire anybody, even the president.
Yes.
So people gave us the huge majority. And it was hard because they still control the Electoral Tribunal as of today. That's why our election was recognized by all the countries in the world, because they know the Electoral Tribunal is controlled by the opposition. Still.
It's the only thing that's controlled.
It's the only thing, and we have lived like that. So that validates and legitimizes everything else. So but the thing is that in 2021, when we went to congressional elections, we carried a supermajority. That they said it was impossible, because the system was designed so you cannot get a supermajority. But we got it. We got more than that. And then with that supermajority, there's an article in the Constitution that allows the supermajority in Congress to fire the Supreme Court justice. We carried a supermajority. So our party fired the Supreme Court justice when they got the majority. They fired the Attorney General, which I couldn't. I mean, the states, the president appoints the Attorney General. Here is Congress. Congress elects the Attorney General. Congress fires the Attorney General. But you need 2/3 of Congress.
So I went and watched my game right now,
we got
and it's just all green screen covered over this video right now.
A single rule.
still hear audio, but
that's also a narrative that they want to put.
That's hilarious.
They cannot point out a single thing that was done by not respecting the rules that were written by them, because the rules are written by people. It's not like, oh, these rules were, you know, these rules are not given by God. These rules were written by people, but still we respected all the rules that were written by them. And yeah, we gotta. I just saw an interview that the president of Costa Rica gave in Costa Rica, because he came also, like many other world leaders, he came to the inauguration. So they asked him over there in Costa Rica, and they said, "But don't you think that Bukele is like doing things that are not within the constitutional limits that he has?" And this interview was today, earlier, and President of Costa Rica said, well, in a soccer game or in a football game, you have the rules and you have the score, right? And the rules are made so the score, you know, will be like that. But sometimes you get a super score in one side, right? So are you angry at the rules or are you angry at the score? Because the president of El Salvador, the only thing he can be criticized for is to getting a huge score in his favor with the rules of the game that they lay out for him.
And the rules of the game were rigged against him.
Rigged against him from the beginning.
To the people who ran the country before you, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
Did you ever worry they would try and put you in jail?
Well, they did. Even when I was president. I mean even already being already in the presidency, they tried to impeach me. They say I wasn't. There's an article in the Constitution that says Congress can actually fire the president if he's not fit to lead. So they say that I wasn't fit to lead, and they
the only guy that's
they tried to impeach me because of that. But there was such a. I mean, the people were like, they feared that the people would, like, you know.
So what advice do you
feared the people? They feared the people.
Dude, tell me who runs this world without actually telling me.
Who runs this world? Right.
What advice would you give to another former democratically elected leader seeking office who is facing jail time? Anyone, just if there was.
I mean, if there was a way to stop the candidacy, then he's probably in trouble. But if there's no way to stop him from competing in the election, all the things that they do to him will just give him more votes, right?
That seems to be happening.
Yes, I mean, either you stop the candidacy, or you let him be. But just, you know, hitting him with, you're making the greatest campaign ever. I mean,
do you think they know that?
Some of them, I think some of them do, but of course the ones that don't, or they think that, you know, that's the problem with endogamous groups, right? Because they all, like, you know, yeah, we're so great, yeah, let's do it, and you know they're making a huge mistake.
Echo chamber of pride.
If you're a country like El Salvador, or really any other country in the hemisphere, including Canada, your eyes are on the United States because it's the dominant power.
Yes,
obviously. But it puts you in a weird position if you're being criticized from the United States. So there's a congressman from Massachusetts, a pro-communist congressman called Jim McGovern, literally pro-communist, not an attack, just an observation, who attacked you the other day for daring to move a painting of Oscar Romero, who's a Catholic priest who was murdered here more than 40 years ago, in your airport, I think?
Yeah.
What did you make of that? It seemed like a pretty minute criticism, pretty small.
Yes, and we actually moved it to a nicer place in front. It's not like, you know, we moved it from a very nice place and we put it in some warehouse, you know, or whatever, some place that nobody.
But what if you did? It's your country, no?
Well, of course, but but you can make the case as an art connoisseur that he didn't like, you know, the place we put the painting. But the fact that he protested or he expressed his deep concern on Twitter and not, you know, call if he would have called here and said, "Hey, do you move the painting?" They would tell, "No, no, it's right here, Mr. Congressman." So of course he can even come and see it for himself. But of course he was doing an attack, right? So, but it backfired because first the painting was right in front, so yeah, just to move the camera, it was on the other side. So it was he misfired, but also the fact that a U.S. congressman is trying to micromanage where art is being displayed in another country. Just gives you an example of how out of touch they are.
Feels like colonialism to me a little bit.
Yes, and it comes from the Democratic Party, which you would guess when
The anti-colonial party.
Yes, yeah. But,
How ironic.
Is like, sometimes the guy that's called racist is not really the racist, right? Or the guy that is called the colonialist is not really the colonialist.
The fact that
right?
he's not good at English,
It's weird.
it's awesome.
how
He's so
narratives
intentional
work
with his words
sometimes.
too.
Are you getting a lot of Americans moving here?
Yes. I mean, probably.
My buddies have been
you can
saying
see-
move to
you
El
can see it.
Salvador.
Yes, you can see it. I mean, you can see it
Like
everywhere. And we're
the
also
property there right now,
something
you can
that
go,
is-
you can get
that's
super
very
cheap.
Meaningful to us. is
Well,
that
they
we're
plan on having straight decentralized currency, which they're doing right now, and again, that's putting a huge target on their back. So nobody can control the people's currency, not even the people that run the place, which is how it fucking
Should be.
Like common fucking
getting
sense.
Yeah.
a lot of our diaspora.
So
That's
they
how
even
it is.
have an entire building shaped like a B for Bitcoin because it's founding
the-
the
People that emigrate El Salvador because of the war, or because of the gangs, or because of the economical issues that have always happened here.
That's where I may end up, brother.
And there's a study made at the IOM and USAID. Sorry, I'll send you the link.
Yes.
There's a study made by the IOM and the USAID that says that 62% of Salvadorans living in the United States want to come back to live here.
I wonder why. I wonder why.
No, you will not see
7.5
those
million
statistics fucking
Salvadorans
anywhere, bro,
coming
unless
back.
you look yourself.
So that's super significant.
That ain't
because
something they'll be tooting.
We expelled
Over
we expelled
50%.
from their homes.
Well over
because of crime, because of the war, because of lack of opportunities.
And the
And
funny
the
thing
fact that
is,
they're
from the
coming
other
back.
people, from what I remember, they just didn't understand how much had actually changed and what had actually happened. So once they fully understand the change here themselves, because
They're gonna-
remember,
they're
right
gonna
now
be
the whole world is saying, "Hey, what are they doing, El Salvador? They're doing, he's a dictator." All the that's the whole world. So again, there's people that still are on that side of the fence. Once they realize the truth, I mean, I wonder how that statistic would change, my guy.
Yes, I mean it's the biggest
Crazy.
proof that we're doing things the right way. We have a long way to go, but we're doing things the right way.
So after
So we have a lot of Americans, American-born Americans coming, but we have also a lot of Salvadoran Americans with American citizenships coming here.
do you have the space?
Well, it has created a housing bubble because we don't produce as much houses that are being bought right now. But
It's a
that
good
will
problem to
create
have.
a temporary problem, which is the housing.
That's why
bubble.
it's key to go grab some land
It's
and
not
go
actually
build a
bubble,
house.
it's just, the
Right
offer and
now,
demand.
there's
It's
so
all-
much
Yeah, so
demand,
now, of
man.
course,
You want to
construction
start a
companies
business.
know that the amount of houses
It's
they will
incredible.
build,
This is the
they
time.
will-
You don't
they
even
will-
have
they
to
will
be
sell
like
them.
know what you're doing because it's
So
all fresh.
construction has become 20%.
When the demand
of
is high enough,
GDP.
you don't have to be a genius. You know
It's
what I mean?
growing.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a huge construction boom, and they have the clients, so it's not built in a bubble or speculation, but it feels like a bubble, but it's built on people coming back home.
Has any other head of state called you for advice on how to improve this country?
Yes. Yeah, several. Some of them have said it in public, of course, and we have meetings, mostly security issues. We're talking with a lot of Latin American leaders. They have come. They have sent their security ministers to meet here with our security ministers. They have sent people to see our jail system, because sometimes people see our jail system and they try to compare to the United States jail system and say, "Oh, look, they're mean. They don't have gyms. They don't have Netflix." But you shouldn't compare El Salvador's jail system with the U.S. jail system. You should compare El Salvador's jail system with Latin American jail systems. So if you go and see most of Latin American countries, the jails are run by the gangs.
Yes,
by the
as they
gangs.
were here. I remember that.
Yes, they run it. They had parties, prostitutes, strippers.
It was
drugs.
autonomous here. I mean, you had to get their permission to go in.
Yes, you have to get the permission to go in. They only have permission to get in food, medicine, but they control the jails. Not only in El Salvador, they do it in most of the Latin American countries. So gangsters or narcos, they will control the jails, right? It's their operation hours. They even go out and back and get back. Yes. So we totally control that, and we have 100% control in our jail system. So Latin American countries look to our jail system and to see if they can fix their own. So we do a lot of cooperation in security issues, jails, army, training.
Do you know of
even more powerful in bigger countries, of course, in Latin
Have
America.
you ever, you know, a lot of heads of state because you are one. Have you ever met a head of state who, when faced with a serious problem, a threat to his own country, would, in the middle of a cabinet meeting, pause and say a prayer?
I don't recall, but yeah, probably.
Do you know anyone who would do that? Do you think?
Yes, probably. I don't recall right now, but
No, but that's just so far from the mindset of any leader I've ever interviewed. Anyone who would admit, I'm not sure what to do, let's ask God.
It's so common sense. I love that it's not. I love that it's a shock.
How long do you plan to stay
Speaks
president?
volumes.
Yeah, 5 years. 5 years. That's as much as the Constitution allows me to.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you, Tucker.
Wow, dude. I remember why I downloaded that video and kept it on my computer. Actually, speaking of which,
That's great.
let's see what was Nazis versus Freemasons. Like, what? I have some videos from. Oh, yo, you want to see a cool animated?
That is nuts, folks. I'm just gonna end the stream real quick.
Oh yeah, do it.
Ready, folks.
I remember right. Oh wait.
Well, that was a huge insight into the interview with Tucker Carlson with the El Salvadorian president. What was what was the president's name again?
His name was where the heck is it? Why is it on my
Nayib Bukele.
Right there.
Nayib
right
Bukele.
there. Yeah.
Bukele.
Maib. Yeah, that's it.
Nayib.
How did you say it? How did you say that again?
Nayib Bukele.
Naive. Fuck, yeah, something. Naive. I feel like I'm missing
Nayib Bukele.
I think you're missing
Bukele.
one. You are.
Nayib
There's
Bukele.
like two similar sounds that go back to back. Kind of like when you go you go but you miss the like a one day. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Nayib Bukele. Nayib Bukele.
Something tells me you're off. Okay, take a hit of something in your pipe here quickly.
So yeah, so we just watched Tucker Carlson with El Salvadorian president, and it was amazing. If you have not seen it, go watch it into its entirety. If you made it this far, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Yeah, I'll be editing this and putting it on a page.